Good morning everyone. We are here for the last leg of our paper on geography, that is the last set of 100 questions, 401 to 500. Before starting with this paper discussion, I will like to just inform you all that this is not basically a paper which is framed in question answer format. It is in question answer format is as per questions only, but in many of the questions you will find like 9 statements, 10 statements are written. The reason is that it is not to grill you whether you are able to derive an answer to this particular question or not. Suppose if that topic comes up in the UPSC examination on 25th of May, then all relevant points related to that topic are mentioned over there. UPSC will not frame a question in which there will be 9 statements or 10 statements and it will ask you to verify all 9 or 10 statements. It will give hardly 1, 2 or 3 statements at max, right? So, but I have given all the 9 statements so that when you are going through that question, then all the points, all the aspects which are relevant as per that particular topic should be covered by this question only, right? So, many of the questions are set in question answer format, but the entire language of the question may not be as per the demand of UPSC. All the aspects will be covered for that particular topic, clear on that? And it is not to check you that whether you are able to derive an answer or not. It is to provide you the information so that you may be slightly enriched in terms of topics after going through this set of 100 questions. Clear on that? It is a mix of static and current affairs. 70% focus is on current affairs. Whatever topics that have been in current affairs in last 7 to 8 months, they have been covered. 30% of the topics are static portion. Out of the static portion, there are 10 to 15 questions which are grilling you on a level up as compared to last 3 years questions which have been asked by UPSC. On any of the parameter on which UPSC has focused in last 3 years in prelims examination, if that has been asked and there is a repetition of that topic, then I have moved a level up for that particular topic in that particular section. And there are few static portion in which I have taken reference from, like geoscientist examination conducted by UPSC in 2025, CDS examination conducted by UPSC in 2025, Indian Engineering Services last year after your prelims of last year, Indian Statistical Services, NDA examination. So many examination, from that I have taken few topics and framed the questions accordingly, right? So it will be a mix of all that. Try to go through the questions, try to understand. Wherever you find any discrepancy or any you want me to go for further explanation, you can ask me for that. So starting with question number 1. In relation to Indian monsoon, El Nino and La Nina remains in news. Consider the following statements on that. Now, El Nino, La Nina, a burning topic, always remains in limelight, but all that you have, which you have studied in your GS foundation over here, or in your PMP batches over here, or MMP batches over here, that has not been covered over here. It is asking you something else. So go through the statement. The onset of El Nino and La Nina can be declared on the basis of Ocean Nino Index. The second statement, ONI, that is Ocean Nino Index, compares the 3-month average sea surface temperature in East Central Tropical Pacific with the 30 years average. For El Nino and Ocean Nino Index value, for El Nino, the Ocean Nino Index value must exceed 0.5 degrees Celsius or more at least 5 times consecutively, and for La Nina it must be minus 0.5 degrees Celsius or less at least 5 times consecutively. Now El Nino, La Nina we keep on hearing, it is related to Indian monsoon. How El Nino is forecasted, how El Nino or La Nina, how it is declared, or who declares that? First of all, it is declared on the basis of Ocean Nino Index. First statement, the Ocean Nino Index is given by which organization? It is given by NOAA. NOAA. The funding for NOAA was reduced by Donald Trump very recently. Why we are working for all these climate related factors and why NOAA is spending so much of US money to derive or arrive at a conclusion which is not related to the interests of US, right? That NOAA declares Ocean Nino Index, and on the basis of that index we get whether it is a La Nina year or it is an El Nino year. The second statement, ONI compares 3 months average sea surface temperature of tropical Eastern Pacific Ocean, tropical Eastern or tropical Central Pacific Ocean, that region that you, as soon as the term El Nino comes to your mind, the region that comes to your mind कि यहाँ पे temperature record हो रहा होगा, that region. In that region, it compares the 3-month average sea surface temperature with 30 years average. If this value comes up to be 0.5 degrees Celsius or more in 1 month, then in second month, this is 5 times consecutively, this is monthly. So 1 month, second month, third month, fourth month, fifth month. For 5 continuous months, if the temperature is plus 0.5 degrees Celsius or more than that, it is El Nino. If it is less than 0.5 degrees Celsius or less than that, it is La Nina. Are you getting that? So these are the 4 parameters on which Ocean Nino Index help us to know whether it is El Nino year or La Nina year. And when there is no deviation of a 5 continuous month, there is no plus or minus reading, it is normal, natural, like neutral phase of El Nino Southern Oscillation. Clear on that? So all the 4 statement will hold true. So all 4, option D, D for dog, shall be the right answer. Clear on that? Backhand team, please see if the handout has not been uploaded. Please check for that. Any questions, any doubt? Next question. Consider the following statements on planetary boundary layer. Now this term has again been in newspaper at least 3 times in during last year, from last year June onwards up till now. Planetary boundary layer height or planetary boundary layer. So what is planetary boundary layer? Have a look at the statement. It is the lowest layer of the troposphere where wind is influenced by friction. Its height is less during night, that is cold season, and it is higher during day or during warm season. Winds above this layer are termed as geostrophic wind. So planetary boundary layer is the lower layer of troposphere where the winds are affected by friction. It is also called as atmospheric boundary layer or planetary boundary layer. Both terms will go with that. Its height is less during night or during cold season. Due to less convection, the height is less. During warm season or during hot days, it is more due to more convection. Winds above this layer, it is geostrophic wind, that is jet stream. So basically what happens in planetary boundary layer, the winds remains turbulent. Turbulence is there. Gusty winds are there. They keep on moving, but a type of homogeneity is there. But when you cross this layer, move above this layer, then the winds become more stronger. They are even more faster because friction is less. So whatever height up till which the friction offered by the surface of earth is applicable, that is planetary boundary layer height. The height of planetary boundary layer is used in forecasting various climatic phenomena, like monsoon is one of them. Are you getting that? That is planetary boundary layer height. All the 3 statements hold true. Abhi 3 दिन पहले, 3 days back, if you have noticed that, and you all must have noticed that, one day fine evening, the entire atmosphere of Delhi was flooded with like dust particles. It was very pathetic. Air quality index all of a sudden started giving high reading. So what was that? That was basically the wind was coming from northwest. It was coming from the region of Pakistan. It was coming from the region of Rajasthan, and that dust reached here. Why it reached here? Because low pressure developed over the region of NCR. Due to low pressure region, it attracted the winds from that side, which brought dust along with that. But after that, this phenomenon, air was not able to go up. Because air was not able to go up, convection stopped. So what happened? It was like a pollution dome which got formed over here. Due to the formation of that pollution dome, the lower atmosphere was flooded with dust and the air quality worsened over a period of time. Next day morning, if you have noticed again, as the impact of sun increased, convection started and the atmosphere was comparatively better as compared to last evening. Clear on that? So all the 3 statements hold true. So option C, C for cat, shall be the right answer. Clear on that? Next question. Very recently, Jaisalmer in Rajasthan witnessed huge amounts of water gushing out from underground region. It was however related to artesian well type conditions. Consider the following statements on artesian well. It is possible only in case of an unconfined aquifer. Great Artesian Basin of Australia is an example of this. It covers the region around Lake Erie in Australia. Any idea on that? See what happens. This is the surface of earth. below the surface of earth you are having a layer, this layer is permeable, water can percolate down. Then you are having an impermeable layer of water, sorry, impermeable layer of rock, and below that it is water table. Again you are having a rock layer that is impermeable. So water cannot enter this water table from below, neither from top. From any horizontal axis water reaches this particular layer, and because it remains under immense pressure blocked by impermeable layers. This is impermeable, impermeable, water, permeable layer. So what happens if a hole is drilled over here, water moves out through this hole and moves out automatically without any mechanical support, without any electrical motor support, and that phenomena is called as artesian well, right? This phenomena is called as artesian well. Now if this water table, focus over here, what is important, this water table that is present over here, this water table is not having access to direct surface water. So the rain water which is infiltrating down is not able to reach this layer. In such a case, in such a type of scenario, this aquifer, that is the water aquifer, is called as confined. This is called as confined aquifer. Another case, what can be the another case? This is your surface of earth. On the surface of earth you are having a layer, you are having, now this is impermeable rock, this is your water table, water is present over here, but this water table is exposed to surface from this side, right? Then such an aquifer is called as unconfined aquifer. It is not blocked by impermeable layers, so it is not confined, it is unconfined. The volume of water, the quantity of water may increase or reduce, so it is unconfined, that is confined, it's sandwiched between impermeable layers, and so that is confined, this is unconfined. Now suppose if an unconfined aquifer is there and the surface of the earth is like this, here you are having a layer that is suppose impermeable, below that you are having water table, it is unconfined aquifer, and here also if you drill a hole, then here the water table is up till this mark, here the water table is up till this mark, simple law of physics, water flows from higher level to lower level, so water moves out to maintain the level. Even this can result in the formation of artesian well. So in both these cases you can have artesian well. So the first statement that is written, it is possible only in case of unconfined aquifer, it is possible in case of confined aquifer also, and in fact confined aquifer are more associated with artesian well as compared to unconfined aquifer. For unconfined aquifer to form artesian basin, it is necessary that you should be having a basin topography, a bowl topography, right? So first statement will be incorrect. Second statement, Great Artesian Basin of Australia is an example of this. Great Artesian Basin around Lake Erie, 800 kilometers by 400 kilometers around Lake Erie, that is known as Downs Land. Downs Land is the temperate grassland, prominent temperate grassland, that is having the phenomena of artesian well. Any place you dig a pipe and the water comes out, right? That is the region around Lake Erie. So second and third statement holds true. First statement will not be considered as a correct one. So only two, option B for boy shall be the right answer. Clear on that? Online class. Online students, are you able to have an access to handout now? Okay. Consider the following statements on Coastal Tree Adhar launched recently. Comparatively easier question. Heard about this? Coastal Tree Adhar? No. It was launched by Government of Jammu and Kashmir. It is to preserve chinar trees. Chinar is what? A tree which appears more or less like a maple only. Not maple. Chinar is different, maple is different, but it appears, give the appearance as a similar, somewhat a brother sister type of maple tree. It is present in the region of Jammu and Kashmir, and exhaustive deforestation or cutting of trees was carried out. So government of Jammu and Kashmir started this project Chinar. What they started doing, they started using Aadhaar QR code for each and every tree that was GI tagged. And how they started that? They started using GIS. GIS network was used to find the trees. Every tree was given a unique QR code, and a small plate was fixed on the tree over a period of time. It is still going on, the process is going on. It's fixed on the tree. If you scan the QR code, you can find that what is the height of the tree, what is the breadth, thickness of the tree, how many branches are moving out, because this is India. ठीक है, हम पेड़ छोड़ देंगे, branches काट ले जाएंगे. So how many branches, thick branches are moving out, that is also mentioned over there. Everything is mentioned over there. It was started by Jammu and Kashmir. It was to preserve chinar trees, right? So both 1 and 2, option C for cat, shall be the right answer. Clear on that? World Meteorological Organization has declared 2024 as the warmest year on record. Consider the following statements on that. The year crossed the preferential benchmark of 1.5 degrees Celsius as discussed in the Paris Agreement. Yes or no? World Meteorological Organization gave this report, and 2024 breached that. But it is not to worry, because that is the long term target. So even 1 year if you have crossed or breached that value, it will not make any major difference. But yes, this year has breached 1.5 degrees Celsius framework that was decided by Paris Agreement. Ocean warming was higher than land warming. If you compare ocean warming with respect to ocean warming that took place in last couple of decades, then ocean warming was almost double of that, and land warming was not double of that. But if you go in exact numerical terms, that by what degree percentage ocean has warmed, by what degree land has warmed, then ocean warming is less as compared to land, right? Ocean warming was less, land warming was more. So it is, statement 2 is wrong, right? But try to understand the philosophy of the statement. Ocean warming was higher than land warming. If you are taking it as in absolute terms, it is a wrong statement, right? But if it will be a percentage statement, in which whether ocean was warmed by a higher percentage or land was warmed up by a higher percentage, the ocean की warming का percentage 100 cross कर जाए. Are you getting that? So in absolute terms, the statement is wrong. But if the statement would be modified in percentage terms, statement would become correct. But here the statement is wrong, because we are talking about absolute terms. India's comparative less increase in temperature could be attributed to high level of aerosol pollution. Now, globe is warming at a higher rate, India is warming at a slower rate. The reason given was high aerosol pollution. Aerosols are present, so albedo is increasing. The incoming solar radiation is scattered, reflected back. So the percentage of albedo is increasing, and hence the overall increase of temperature as recorded over India was comparatively less as compared to few other regions of the world. Clear on that? So statement 2 is wrong, 1 is correct, 3 is correct. So only 2, option B before boy shall be the right answer. Clear on that? If you are having any questions, any doubt, you may please ask. 405C. Nidhi 405. See, no, ocean warming is not higher, Nidhi. Ocean warming is less as compared to land. Land has breached 1.5, and ocean warming, if I'm not very sure, it is something 0.9 degrees Celsius, but I'm not very sure on that. But it was less than land warming. So statement 2 will be considered as a wrong one. Next question. Consider the following statements on lake effect snowfall. Lake effect snowfall. Heard about that? Oh, yeah. US this time witnessed lake effect snowfall on a massive scale, and just 3 or 4 months back. Not even that much time. I think it was late winter only. What is lake effect snowfall? In lake effect snowfall, again I will explain you with the help of. Suppose this is a lake. If a lake is like this, then this will be called as length of the lake in general. And suppose the wind is blowing from this side. Air is comparatively cold. It is cold, and it is so cold that it is close to 0 or sub-zero. The temperature is 0 or sub-zero, and water present over here is comparatively warm. If it is 0 and even if it is 3 degrees Celsius, it will be considered warm. So as the air, cold air moves over that, the warm water modifies the temperature of the air, the thermodynamic effect takes place, the temperature of the air gets modified, it instantaneously picks some moisture, and by the time it is able to cross the lake, that moisture condenses into solid form, and at the end of the lake and even at the cross section of the lake itself, some snowfall may start taking place. Are you getting that? So this phenomena is called a lake effect snowfall, in which a proper formation of cloud at higher altitude may not be required. Right? This phenomena is called as lake effect snowfall. Have a look at that. It takes place by the movement of cold air over warm water. That is the correct statement. It is a localized phenomena. The region where this lake is there, warm water area, it will be localized. It is possible over bays and seas as well. This time when USSR recorded heavy massive snowfall, and all the 50 states were recording snowfall at one and the same time. At least all the mainland states, they were recording snowfall at one and the same time. Then it was finally deciphered that the air that is moving from Gulf of Mexico and the air that is moving inland from Pacific side, that is the California region, was also affected by this phenomenon, that is lake effect snowfall. Getting that? So all three statements hold true. So 1, 2 and 3, option D, D for dog, shall be the right answer to this. Next question. In recent past, California region of USA witnessed one of the most devastating wildfires in southwestern section. Consider the following statements on that. You must have heard about Los Angeles, LA, सब जगह impact आया था इसका. So Santa Ana winds were responsible for the spread of fires. Santa Ana winds were there. It is a type of katabatic wind and hence dry. Santa Ana wind is generally considered as katabatic. It descends from the slopes of the mountains, and specifically Sierra Nevada is associated with this particular wind. Otherwise, very small ranges present over there are also responsible, right? This wind practically blows at the end of winter season, but it cannot be ruled out at any given time of the year. At any point of time of the year, this wind may start blowing. It moves out from the desert region also, that is the Mojave Desert, California region. It is also katabatic, that descends from the mountain and affects the region. It causes complete dryness, and due to that complete dryness, what happens? The vegetation that is present over there, the leaves that are falling down, they decompose, methane is formed. Even a slight mistake, it may be anthropogenic, it may be natural, causes fire to break out. Once the fire starts, then this wind further causes the spread of fire. It causes the spread of fire over large areas, and that is the impact of Santa Ana winds. Both the statements hold true. Option C, C for cat, shall be the right answer to this particular. Clear on that? Consider the following statements on hydrothermal winds. What are hydrothermal winds? As the name suggests, it is hydro, so related to water, and thermal, so related to temperature also. So hydrothermal winds, something related to temperature and water. Now they are the fissures in continental crust near active volcanoes. They are not in continental crust. Hydrothermal, that will be in oceanic crust. Continental crust will not be there. So statement 1 becomes a wrong one. They release hot water rich in minerals and chemicals. What are hydrothermal winds? Basically, first understand that due to plate tectonics, movement of plate, it can be convergence, it can be divergence. Anything may happen at any of the regions. If the plates are moving, a crack may be formed due to the movement of the plate, right? A crack gets formed, water moves down. Water moves down, why? Because it is oceanic crust. So water moves down, it is heated by the hot magma inside, and due to high temperature and due to magma, it dissolves the rock through which it is passing, and that water starts moving out. It creates a hydrothermal vent, that is explosion may also take place, but generally it is a long period phenomena which keeps on taking place. How it was noticed and why it is in news? Because Goa, in Goa there is that organization NCPOR, that is for Polar and Ocean Research, National Center for Polar and Ocean Research, that is in Goa, that was conducting a deep ocean mission few months back. and they discovered this hydrothermal vent in southwest section of Indian Ocean. They discovered that it is associated with two types of smokes or material moving out. One is black smoke, one is white smoke. If chemicals, minerals are moving out, it is white smoke. If sulfur is moving out in huge quantity, it is called as a black smoke, right? So these hydrothermal vents, they are present in oceanic crust, not in continental crust. They release hot water rich in minerals and chemicals, correct? They support the biodiversity of the region. It was discovered that without using sunlight, bacteria over there are conducting photosynthesis. No, that is not photosynthesis, that the term is used is chemosynthesis, right? So they are producing energy without using sunlight, and that is chemosynthesis. So all three statements, no, first is wrong, second and third is correct. So only two, option B for boy, shall be the right answer. Question number 9, consider the following statements on coastal hardening. What is coastal hardening? Any type of concrete structure developed on the coastal area is termed as coastal hardening. So what happens over there? Due to excessive concrete structures, the coast becomes hardened, and due to harder coast, what happens? The natural cycle of erosion and deposition gets altered. Whether the wave is conducting erosion or deposition naturally, that is altered. Even deposition gets affected, erosion gets affected, and that is termed as coastal hardening. Recently, it was finally discovered that various coasts of the world are affected by coastal hardening, and on an average on entire world, 33% of the global coasts are affected by coastal hardening. All world average is 33% and 84% is for Bay of Bengal. 84% is Bay of Bengal, that is having maximum, that is maximum affected by coastal hardening. Western Europe, Central Europe, it is 68%. Mediterranean, it was claimed as 65%, and Bay of Bengal, it was 84%. So it is because of excessive construction of various concrete structures along the coast, correct? Bay of Bengal is one of the most affected regions, that is also correct. So both 1 and 2, option C for cat, shall be the right answer. Clear on that? Consider the following statements on the phenomena of cold drop in meteorology. What is cold drop? It causes the ascent of warm and moist air. It is associated with torrential rainfall. Any idea cold drop? Cold drop is basically cold air gets detached from what? From polar jet stream. So polar jet stream is there around the polar area. From there, the cold air gets detached and it descends over various parts of the globe wherever the impact takes place. It is most pronounced in region of Mediterranean, and there the cold air detached from the polar jet stream descends over the region of Mediterranean. Mediterranean is recording comparatively higher temperature, so all of a sudden the air that is present over Mediterranean gets affected by this dropping of cold air, and that warm air which is moist, which is present over the region of Mediterranean, moves up because the lower place is occupied by cold air. That is cold air dropping down, causing the upliftment of warm air. It causes immediate formation of cloud, intense formation of cloud, which is accompanied by torrential rainfall. Very heavy, strong, concentrated rainfall takes place, and that phenomena is called as cold drop, right? It was there is a place in Spain, that is Valencia, if I am not wrong. Valencia recorded whatever rainfall that is recorded on an average in that city of Valencia in 1 year, that was recorded in 8 hours. मतलब एक साल में उस शहर में जितनी बारिश होती है वो 8 घंटे में हो गई because of this phenomena, that is cold drop, right? That was in Spain. Spain is affected by this phenomena. France is affected. Italy effect is there. Portugal effect is there. The same is called as DANA, D-A-N-A, and the full form of DANA is in Spanish. I cannot recall that, right? D-A-N-A, DANA. That is a Spanish term. In normal climatic terms, it is called as cold drop, right? So here both the statements are correct. Option C for cat will be the. Question number 11. Consider the following statements. So this is a simple question comparatively. Sanjay, what you have written I am not getting. Sir, I am from IGNOU. Students are crying because government or private university mostly looking for regular student. What have that to do with this session? I am not able to understand. If it is something related to the session, please specify. Otherwise, I am not getting what you are asking. We will, Priyanka, we will be concentrating our lecture to this class only. Whatever questions that are framed over here. Any other topic of geography, you can talk to me personally. You can get in contact with the management. They will connect you to me and you can discuss that. Can we move on? Perihelion is a suitable position for northern hemisphere in relation to temperature. Perihelion falls on 3rd of January, right? And it is suitable for northern hemisphere. Aphelion position is an adverse position for northern hemisphere in relation to temperature. Even that is favorable. Aphelion is now 4th of July. Northern hemisphere will be having comparatively less insolation. So statement 1 is correct, 2 is wrong. So 1 only, option A for apple shall be the right answer. Arrange the following places in ascending order in terms of duration of night in the month of January. Again a simple question. In the month of January, as you go north, duration of the night will go on increasing. As you go south, duration of night will go on reducing. And you have to arrange in ascending order. It means you have to arrange south to north. Less night, less duration of night in the south. As you move north, duration of night will go on increasing. So arrange these places south to north. It will be Bangalore, Bhopal, no, Bangalore, Nagpur, Bhopal, Jaipur. So it will be 1342. 1342, option A for apple shall be the right answer. Question number 13. Consider the following statements on earthquake. Richter scale is used to measure the intensity of an earthquake. Richter scale measures the magnitude, so it is the wrong one. Modified Mercalli scale is used to measure the magnitude of an earthquake, that is the intensity, it is the wrong one. Moments magnitude scale measures the size and strength, especially for a major earthquake. Richter scale and moment magnitude scale both are used to measure the magnitude of the earthquake. When the earthquake is beyond a threshold, then moment magnitude scale plays the lead role over there. It is a more advanced scale as compared to other scales, right? So statement 3 is correct, 1 and 2 are flip statements. When we talk about earthquake, then what is the intensity or how the earthquake can be classified? As per the causes. Now what can be a cause of an earthquake? Why earthquake has occurred? It can be either tectonic reason, volcanic reason, it can be explosion, it can be reservoir induced, volcanic, tectonic, reservoir induced, collapse, mines, collapse, that they can be the reasons for earthquake. If you classify the earthquakes as per their depth of focus, then it can be shallow, intermediate, deep. Shallow is 30 to 70 kilometers, then 70 to 300 kilometers is intermediate, 300 to 700 is deep earth. Then as per the magnitude, they can be classified as micro, very small, less than 3. 3 on the Richter scale, less than 3 on the Richter scale, micro. 3.3, more than 3, up till 4.9. 3 to 4.9, it is called as slight earthquake, right? Then from 5 to 6.5, it is moderate. From 6.5 to 8, it is called as great earthquake. More than 8, very great, right? So here statement 1 and 2 are wrong, 3 is correct, so only 1, option A for apple shall be the right answer. Consider the following statements. Biscuit tray topography is related to glacial landforms. Arate and coal, if you can recall the lectures of PMP, Arate and coal. Arate, coal, that is a glacier topography when a glacier scratches on the slope. Suppose this is a mountain slope and a glacier is moving, scratching the slope. So it forms zigzag pattern, that is biscuit tray topography. right? It is again like a Parle-G biscuit, take out from a packet, keep it on a dish and slide it like that. So all biscuits will fall onto each other. That is biscuit tree topography. Basket of X topography is related to coastal landforms. Glacial only, these are drumlins. Craig and Trail, Roche Mutoni, they are all related to glacial landform. So this is statement 2 will be a wrong one. Valley in valley topography is related to both glacial and river landform. Now valley in valley topography is formed by river landforms. River carves out a big valley, within that another valley, within that another valley. So valley in valley topography. And how glacier, suppose you take the example of hanging valley, one valley hanging over another valley. So that is also valley in valley topography. A big valley is there in glaciatic region, due to glacier cutting multiple small valleys are created in the same valley, valley in valley topography. So it is both by glacier erosion as well as river. So both are correct. So 1 is correct, 3 is correct, 2 is wrong. So only 2, option B for boy shall be the right answer. Consider the following statements. Mushroom rocks are formed through erosion by unidirectional winds. Gardens are formed through erosion by multidirectional winds. Mushroom rock is eroded from all sides. So it is not unidirection, it is multidirectional. Garden is eroded from one side. So it is unidirectional. So both the statements are wrong. So neither 1 nor 2, option D for dog shall be the right answer. Are you getting that? Clear on that? Garden mushroom rock clear. Mushroom rock is also known as Gara in Sahara Desert, Pilsfelsen in Germany, pedestal rock in Switzerland. Do remember, UPSC may not stick to mushroom rock. So here the answer was neither 1 nor 2, option D for dog. Consider the following statements on ultraviolet radiations. Ultraviolet A radiations have, now this, why I have framed this question, UPSC since last 3 years is asking a question on insolation. On one year it has asked that out of insolation is coming, one of the statement was equator receives 10 times the insolation as compared to poles. One of the statement was maximum part of the infrared radiation is absorbed by water vapor. इस तरह के स्टेटमेंट है एक ही क्वेश्चन में, राइट. फिर नेक्स्ट ईयर दे हैव आस्क्ड अबाउट ट्रोपोस्फियर कन्वेक्शन, राइट. ऑरोरास के ऊपर क्वेश्चन आया. दे आर फोकसिंग ऑन 21st of June. We are talking about global warming, heat wave, it is going on. So if UPSC will dig into the details of ultraviolet radiation, then you should know that ultraviolet A radiations have longer wavelengths and generally not absorbed by ozone. A, B, C, maximum wavelength A, less B, further less C. Energy maximum C, less B, further less A. So A is having longer wavelength and generally not absorbed by ozone. They reach the surface of Earth and they do what? Aging, wrinkles, tanning. जितने ब्यूटी पार्लर इसी से चल रहे हैं. Ultraviolet A, right? Ultraviolet B radiations cause sunburns and significant amount is absorbed by ozone. Some part is absorbed, some part is passing through that. Dermatologist की दुकानें इससे चल रही. Ultraviolet B radiation. Ultraviolet C radiation are most energetic and almost completely absorbed by ozone. Yes, they are completely absorbed. If they are used, if UPSC asks you how, what is the use of ultraviolet C radiation for humans, they are used in sterilization. They are used as a disinfectant. That is the uses of ultraviolet C radiation, right? So here all the 3 statements hold true. So all 3, option C for cat shall be the right. Next question. Consider the following statements on auroras which take place along north and south poles. Now aurora borealis is on north pole, aurora australis is on south pole. Yes, Anubhav, aspirant, Praveen, I am getting your answers. So auroras, the red and the green color are due to interaction with oxygen. Blue and purple auroras are due to interaction with nitrogen. Any idea how auroras are produced? Solar and a charge is reaching, right? Gases, the atoms are present over there. They are not in molecular form, they are present in atomic form, right. The electrons which are present in the outer shell of the atoms, they get energy and they start moving. When they release that energy, at that time the color is produced, right. When they interact with oxygen at higher altitudes, almost 200 miles or more than that, it produces red color with oxygen. And if the height is less 60 miles or below that, it is green color. First statement is correct. 200 miles or more height, red color. Less than 60 miles, it is green color. The blue and purple and even pink aurora, at times pink aurora is also produced, but what is that? It is not visible from the ground. It is produced if you are high in the space, you can see that, but if you are on the ground, you will not be able to notice the pink color, right. So blue and purple are produced by the action of nitrogen. Due to nitrogen you get blue and purple auroras. Pink is also by nitrogen, but that is not visible from land. So both the statements are correct. So both 1 and 2, option C, C for cat, shall be the right answer. Clear on that? Consider the following statements on ozone layer. We keep on hearing ozone layer, ozone hole. So what is the unit to measure the thickness of ozone? It is Dobson. And what is Dobson exactly? 0.01 millimeter. You all know 1 millimeter. All have used small scales in your pencil boxes. 1/100th of a millimeter, that is 1 Dobson, and the total thickness is 300 Dobson. So the first statement that is saying the unit to measure the thickness of ozone is Dobson unit, and 1 Dobson equals 0.01 millimeter. Absolutely correct statement. The average thickness of ozone is considered at 300 Dobson. Now 300 Dobson, 300 multiplied by 0.01. What will be the answer? 3 millimeter. 3 millimeter. That is the thickness of ozone layer. Are you getting that? Which we say that ozone is getting depleted. Ozone at 3 millimeter. That is the thickness. Ozone hole is defined as thickness below 220 Dobson unit. That is the definition for ozone hole. It is 3 millimeter, 300 Dobson unit. If the thickness drops to 220 or less than that, it is ozone hole. Are you getting that? Antarctica pe we are discussing about ozone hole, yes or no? We discuss about ozone dent on Arctic, yes. So what is ozone hole? Thickness is 220 Dobson. Average thickness 300 Dobson. 1 Dobson 0.01 of a millimeter. That. So all three statements hold true. Option C, C for cat, is the right answer. Consider the following statements on solar radiation. Now focus on this question. This is again in which UPSC can grill you. Almost 50% of it constitutes infrared radiation. Total insolation, almost 50% is infrared radiation. A little over 40% constitutes visible spectrum, and the minimum is ultraviolet radiation. Maximum is infrared, more than 50%, 51, 52% is infrared. 40 to 42, 43% is visible light, and 3 to 7%. It is not always fixed, it keeps on varying, right? So 3 to 7% is ultraviolet. All three statements hold true. So option C, C for cat, shall be the right answer. And out of that 3 to 7% of ultraviolet radiation, that is creating the problem when it is not getting absorbed by ozone. And out of that only 3 to 7%, what percentage would be ultraviolet C? That will be further less. And if that is not absorbed by ozone, then the impact on the earth is catastrophic. Here option C, C for cat, will be the right answer. Arrange the following in descending order of albedo. Again a static question, simple question. UPSC may grill you, may ask you a question on this particular aspect direct, or it may give a landform associated with desert, associated with water, vegetation and clouds. So if it names a cloud, nimbostratus cloud, then desert, it gives you the region of desert region, water, any ocean surface, vegetation, any dense forest cover, and it may ask you on that, or it can ask you directly. So what is the descending order? Descending order is snow, ice, cloud, desert, vegetation, water. So it will be cloud, desert, vegetation, water. 4132. 4132 option D. D for dog shall be the right answer to this. Yes. Snow, ice, cloud, desert, vegetation, water. चार तो यहाँ लिखे बेटा, उसके पहले स्नो आइस लिख लो बस. Next question. Yes. नहीं. Water will have minimum albedo. Vegetation will have more albedo. Water सब retain कर लेता. It penetrates down 200 meters नीचे तक, फोटिक जोन है, वहां तक चला जाता है, बहुत सारा रिटेन हो जाता है. कन्वेक्शन से वो ट्रांसमिट होता रहता है नीचे, ऊपर से टेम्परेचर नीचे जाता रहता है, तो वाटर मिक्स करता रहता है, तो वो रिटेंशन उसका ज्यादा हो जाता है. Generally, auroras are seen only near the polar regions of the earth. Consider the following statements. The solar flares are deflected by the magnetic field lines, channelizing them towards the poles. During intense solar storms, auroras are visible from lower latitudes as well. So what exactly happens over here? Magnetic field lines are like this. Right. So if there is a intense solar storm or CME activity is there, right, and a solar flare reaches over, then in that solar flare it deflected along the lines towards the polar region, or it deflected along the lines towards the polar region, and when it reaches the polar region, and then when it is moving towards the surface of earth, it interacts with the ions present over there in ionosphere, thermosphere, right, and it results in the formation of auroras. There on that. During intense solar storms, auroras are visible from lower latitudes as well. India mein can you find auroras? Ladakh, and they have made a dark sky reserve over there at Henley. And the second dark sky reserve of India, one was Henley, that was announced 3-4 years back. Recently they announced one more dark reserve, Panna, Pink, Panna or Pink. Do confirm that it is in Madhya Pradesh. Panna, even I can recall Panna only. It is not PH, it is Pink. Here the statements, both the statement hold true. So option C, C for cat is the right answer. Consider the following statements. Relative humidity must be 100% for condensation to take place. Yes or no? Relative humidity must be 100% for condensation to take place. 100% correct. Relative, unless and until relative humidity is 100%, condensation cannot take place. It can become 100%, air may become saturated over a long period of time, or it may be spontaneous, like in dew formation. It can be spontaneous, but it has to reach 100%. Relative humidity is inversely related to temperature. Higher the temperature, less the relative humidity. Less the temperature, more the relative humidity. Relative humidity is what? The amount of humidity present in the air divided by total capacity of the air to hold humidity as a percentage multiplied by 100. So when the temperature increases, total capacity increases, so the percentage reduces. When the temperature reduces, total capacity reduces, and hence the percentage increases. So the relationship inverse. At higher percentage, the last statement I want every one of you to read and see. A higher percentage of relative humidity at lower temperature means lesser quantity of water vapor as compared to lower percentage of relative humidity at higher temperature. 25th को CSAT भी देना. First paper is GS and second paper is CSAT. You all know that, no? 100%. See, if there is a air and it is having relative humidity as 20%, right? Another air having relative humidity as 80%, right? But this air is having 80% of relative humidity at a temperature of 5 degrees Celsius. This air is having 20% relative humidity at a temperature of 25 degrees Celsius. At 25 degrees Celsius, the total capacity of the air to given volume, fixed volume, at 25 degrees Celsius, the total capacity of the air to hold moisture is suppose 500 grams. And here, for example, it is 100 grams, right? So it is having 20% humidity. So how much? 100 grams, 20% of 500. Here it is 80%, 80% of 100, how much? 80 grams. So even at higher temperature, less relative humidity may be having total humidity content as higher as compared to this one. Are you getting that? So higher percentage of relative humidity at lower temperature means lesser quantity of water vapor as compared to lower percentage of relative humidity at higher temperature. But this statement cannot be considered as an absolute statement. Absolute, right? So if this statement is written along with the conditions, it will be considered as correct, right? But अगर इतना ही लिखा है जितना अभी लिखा दिख रहा तो थोड़ा सा डाइसी हो जाएगा, right? तो अगर हम इसको मान लें कि हमने इसमें कुछ लिखा हुआ है तो we will consider it as correct. Clear on that? Are you getting my point? If this statement is written only this much, then it will become dicey, ambiguous. इसमें दो तीन वर्ड्स और जोड़ने पड़ेंगे इसको एकदम वन साइडेड कॉन्क्रीट बनाने के लिए. बट कॉन्सेप्ट आपके समझ में आ गया? Phenomena you are able to understand? So here we will consider all the three as correct with a writer on statement 3. So option C, C for cat is the right answer. Consider the following statements. आप अभी करंट अफेयर्स आएगा, चिंता मत करो, सब मिक्स है, फिर करंट आएगा, घबराओ मत. Consider the following statements. Absolute humidity does not change with change in temperature, provided water is neither added nor removed. Specific humidity does not change with change in temperature, provided water is neither added nor removed. What is that? Absolute humidity is what? Gram per kg of water. Specific humidity is what? Sorry, this is specific humidity. And absolute humidity is what? Gram per meter cube of air. This is absolute humidity, right? Temperature, with the change of temperature, will the specific humidity change if water is neither added nor removed? This is the specific humidity, focus only on this one. Specific humidity is gram per kg of air. So I am saying that 1 kg of air is having 10 grams of humidity, right? हमने उसका टेम्परेचर बढ़ा दिया, तो टेम्परेचर बढ़ने से क्या होगा? It will expand, but 1 kg will remain 1 kg, and water is neither added nor removed. So will it change? No change. Focus on this one. It is per meter cube of air. We increase the temperature. Water is neither added nor removed. Water is neither added nor removed. So will it impact absolute humidity? No. Why are you saying that if it is expanding, then water will move out from that 1 meter cube? So unless and until water is added or removed, specific and absolute humidity will not change. Only relative humidity can change with respect to change in temperature. Are you getting that? आ रहा है समझ में ना? So both the statements hold true. So both 1 and 2, option C, C for cat, shall be the right answer. First statement. Absolute humidity does not change with the change in temperature. Temperature is changing. So what will change? Volume may change, right? Why humidity content will change? Water is neither added nor removed. So why humidity will change? For humidity value to change, if humidity is not a percent, it is an absolute figure. It is gram per kg or gram per meter cube. So grams of humidity are neither added nor removed. So why will the figure change? Are you getting that? So generally with respect to temperature, if you will go into the micro details of statement 1, micro details, we are heating the air, so air will expand. So 1 meter cube will expand over a larger area. Now our reference 1 meter cube may not be having that much of humidity. If you go into that detail, then statement will become dicey. But in general, absolute humidity and specific humidity are irrespective of temperature. If water is neither added nor removed, if the air is having access to water, the statement will not be considered as correct in both the cases. Are you getting that? But relative humidity is only related to temperature, whether humidity is added or not added. If temperature is increasing, relative humidity goes down. If temperature is reducing, relative humidity goes up. Right? So both 1 and 2, option C, C4CAT is the right answer. Consider the following statements on supercooled water. Supercooled water is what? Water which is present at less than 0 degree Celsius and is still in liquid form. That is supercooled water. Why it is in supercooled state? Because when the process of freezing starts, then there are freezing nuclei which gets formed, around which the process of freezing takes place. When water is in absolute purest form, then no nuclei is present over there, and even if disturbance is not there, it is stable without any movement, nothing is happening, no disturbance is there, then that water, if it is cooled even below 0 degree Celsius, it will not freeze, it will not transform into solid form, and that is called as supercooled water. Water present in the higher clouds, impurities are not there, lack of impurities, hygroscopic nuclei is absent. In those clouds, water is present in supercooled state, and that is called as supercooled water. Consider the statements on that. It is a liquid water that has been cooled below its normal freezing point without solidifying into ice. That is the definition of supercooled water. It is the purest form of water which lacks ice nuclei, because it is not having ice nuclei. Ice nuclei hogi to freezing ho jayegi, right? It is correct. It is an unstable state and even a small disturbance may cause freezing. जैसे कि supercooled water मान लीजिए आपके हाथ में है, हाथ में हो नहीं सकता, लेकिन अगर है, आपने इसको ऐसे हल्का सा टैप किया, तुरंत वो फ्रीज कर. Supercooled droplets are common in higher clouds. Water is present in supercooled state. It gives rise to the concept of freezing rain. पानी ऊपर से गिरा, it touches an object, and immediately on touching the object, it freezes. The water is moving down in liquid form. It is from supercooled state. The ground surface temperature is also sub-zero. The object on which the water drop is falling is also having temperature less than 0. As soon as it touches that, it freezes. That is freezing rain. All the statements hold true. Option D, D for dog, all 5 hold true. Coach Rajbongshi. Heard this? Coach Rajbongshi is an ethnic group primarily found in northeastern India. Consider the following statements on that. Coach Rajbongshi, the region of Assam. Can you memorize Assam? Assam का मैप याद आ रहा है? हाँ, North Bihar, Bengal, West Bengal, northern part of Bihar, Assam, then parts of Meghalaya, Bhutan, Bangladesh, parts of Nepal. This region, that was an ancient kingdom, and that kingdom was related to Koch, that was called as Kamata or Kamta Kingdom. Rajbongshi was basically a local term over there, Rajvanshi. Rajvanshi means something royal family. So that was the kingdom of these people who belong to this particular group. This is an ethnic group primarily found in the northeastern region of India. You have to consider the statements on that. They are currently having the OBC status in Assam. They are having OBC status and they are demanding ST. They declare us as scheduled tribe. They are demanding that status. अच्छा आप ये सोचिए, जिस देश में पिछड़ने की रेस लग जाए, every community is demanding give us OBC or SC or ST. तो जिस देश में पिछड़ने की रेस लग जाए, उस देश का क्या होगा? हमसे पिछड़ा कौन है? हमको दो. They are demanding ST status for themselves, correct? Apart from northeast India, they are also found in Bhutan, Bangladesh and Nepal, correct? they were designated as doubtful voters, and that's why this term has been placed over here. Recently the government of Assam removed them from the category of D voters. They were not given right to vote, they were considered as doubtful voters. But and the case was going on in foreign tribunal, which government of Assam has taken a step back. So all four statements are hold true. So all four, option D, D for dog, shall be the right answer. Consider the following pairs. Now why this question is present over there? Our Honorable Prime Minister went to inaugurate this bridge, Pamban Lift Bridge, and he was delivering a speech over there. In that he took the name of these four projects, right? तो कोई उनका भक्त अगर बैठा हुआ तो क्वेश्चन बना देगा, right? So focus over that. Atal Setu, Atal Setu, Mumbai, correct or not? That is on Thane Creek. Thane Creek, on that Atal Setu is made, that is a road bridge. Bogeybill Bridge is in Assam, on which river? Brahmaputra. It is a road cum rail bridge, that is in Assam. Road cum rail में longest. Pamban Lift Bridge, that was the lift that was inaugurated just 2 months back, right? And it is the first lift bridge of India. That is a rail bridge, that is on Bagh Strait, to connect Rameshwaram, right? That is a Pamban Lift Bridge. And the Chenab Bridge, Jammu and Kashmir, that is on river Chenab, that is a rail bridge. That is one of the highest rail bridges, right? So all four are correctly matched. Option D, D for dog, shall be the right answer. As per recent GS map ISRO global satellite mapping of precipitation data study, verify the correctness of the following statements. So this was a study that was conducted jointly by ISRO and JAXA, Japan, right? And it was named as GS map. Now they analyze the precipitation data. Again, see, this is a statement in which 7 statements are given. UPSC will not ask you a question giving 7 statements, but I have framed all the 7 statements to cover all the aspect related to this particular topic. तो आपको सारे aspect मिल जाएंगे. UPSC इसमें से अगर कुछ पूछ लेता है, अच्छा, नहीं पूछता है, कोई बात नहीं, मेंस में हम लिखेंगे, कहीं ना कहीं डाल देंगे. It was developed through collaboration between ISRO and Japan Aerospace Exploration Agency, JAXA, which is the correct one. It has a specific focus on Indian subcontinent, but it is not only for India. Do remember that this is not only for India. It has a specific focus. ISRO मिल गया, JAXA मिल गया, but it is for specifically for India. ऐसा नहीं है 100% India के लिए, ऐसा नहीं. But special focus on Indian subcontinent, yes, correct. West Central India, Indo-Gangetic Plains and the southernmost parts of the country experienced slightly increased rainfall per day during last decade as compared with 2001-2010. यानी 2011-20 का जो decade था उसमें Western Central region of India, Indo-Gangetic Plains of India or southern part of India received slightly increased rainfall as compared to last decade. And the eastern region experienced slightly less rainfall as compared to last decade. Next statement is on that. Eastern region experienced slightly less rainfall in the same period. ये इसकी finding है. GS map ISRO government का डाटा है, तो इसको आपको ऐसे ही पढ़ना. Why Western Central India, why Indo-Gangetic Plain, or why Southern India have recorded slightly increased rainfall? The reason given was increased vegetation cover and increased soil moisture. When it was talking about vegetation cover, they have spoken about density of vegetation and the greenness of vegetation. मतलब vegetation तो है, सूखा पड़ा, and greenery ज़्यादा है. Greenness of vegetation has been discussed. So vegetation cover and the soil moisture are attributed as the reason for this difference, correct? Then what is the peak time of rainfall? It has worked on that. This study has worked on that. That at what time in 24 hours format maximum rainfall takes place. So it has been deciphered, it has been calculated that over oceans peak time of rainfall is morning hours, and over land it is slightly late. So peak time of maximum rainfall over sea is generally in morning, but on the land it is afternoon. Are you getting that? Then this peak time mein they have recorded changes, that how this peak time of rainfall is changing. So what are the changes compared to last decade? Last decade means 2001 to 2010. Peak time in Indo-Gangetic plain has advanced by 2 to 4 hours, whereas it is delayed by 1 to 2 hours in western central region. It is attributed to aerosol loading. They say that Indo-Gangetic plain में aerosol loading बहुत ज़्यादा है. Huge aerosol loading exists, and due to aerosol works as what? Hygroscopic nuclei. So humidity आई, relative humidity बढ़ गई, air got saturated, temperature कम हो गया, aerosol is present. So what happened? Cloud formation will be exaggerated. Cloud seeding में क्या करते हैं हम? aerosol ही spread करते हैं. So due to aerosol loading, cloud formation gets fastened up, and so this has advanced 2 से 4 घंटा पहले हो गया peak time of rainfall. But in west central region, it has been delayed by 1 to 2 hours. Again reason, aerosol loading comes. Are you getting that? दिमाग नहीं लगाना है, ये रिपोर्ट कह रही है, ऐसा क्यों होगा, क्या होगा, ये इस पे दिमाग नहीं लगाना. You are not supposed to focus on that. You have to focus on this report which is given by GS Map ISRO, and that report के सारे points, उन्होंने ये सारे points दिए. Clear on that? All the points are 100% correct. So all 7, option D, D for dog shall be the right answer to this particular. Yes. Eastern region experienced slightly less rainfall in the same period. यही रीजन इन्होंने दिया, वेजिटेशन और सॉइल मॉइस्चर. The soil moisture and vegetation cover over eastern region has declined over the period of time in terms of greenness and density, and in western region it has increased over the periods of time. Look, try to understand, focus on this thing. All these statements are given by this report. This report is saying that this is happening, right? So you are not supposed to go into micro detailing of this statement that why will it happen. This report is saying that it has given reasons. So the report has given reason as vegetation and soil moisture, right? This report as per GS Map ISRO data, it is saying this. Clear on that? Don't use your brain on this thing that eastern region से तो Bay of Bengal branch आती है तो वहाँ बारिश कम कैसे होगी. रिपोर्ट ही कह रही. Very recently, Bangladesh decided to ban yarn imports from India through its land ports. सुना था? पढ़ा था? नहीं. बांग्लादेश इंडिया के रिलेशन बहुत अच्छे चल रहे, बताइए आप लोग को, right? So what happened? What India did? India said that India was providing transshipment services to Bangladesh, that various goods, products of Bangladesh were transshipped, were transported to India via land route, and through India custom houses they were sent to different parts of the world, right? So what India did? India said we are over occupied, we are flooded, we are getting blockages over there in terms of traffic, so we will not do that. So we stopped that. India stopped all transshipment services for Bangladesh very recently, 2 महीने के अंदर की बात. बांग्लादेश ने क्या किया? They said कि we will not allow you to export yarn to Bangladesh via land route. आप भी समुद्र से भेजो, land port से हम नहीं आने देंगे, right? So it is on that. Out of total yarn exported by India, maximum share goes to Bangladesh. Out of total yarn exported by India, textile is one of the major sectors for export. Yes or no? अभी 2 दिन पहले रिपोर्ट आई ना जिसमें उन्होंने बोला कि टेक्सटाइल की वजह से ट्रेड डेफिसिट हुआ है. दिस अप्रैल ओवर लास्ट ईयर अप्रैल. नहीं, कोई बात नहीं. हाँ देखो, out of total yarn exported by India, maximum share goes to Bangladesh. Almost 45% of Indian yarn goes to one single country, that is Bangladesh. Next largest is China. China ने भी कम करना शुरू कर दिया, right? First statement holds true. Out of total yarn imported by Bangladesh, maximum share is from India. More than 90%. इंडिया इतना बड़ा देश है, उसका 45 है तो बांग्लादेश का 90 तो हो जाएगा. Then this statement number 3, in this I have written the land ports. I am not sure whether UPSC can go into that detail, but at least you should be familiar कि if a question comes up in the prelims examination, then you must be knowing that these are the land ports through which cross border trade takes place between India and Bangladesh. So this is Maitri-Dwar in West Bengal, that is Petrapul. You have Agartala and Samrum over there in Tripura, Srimantapur and Sutarkandi in Assam, Dauki and Mahendraganj in Meghalaya, and Kawarpuchia in Mizoram. These are the land ports between India and Bangladesh. बांग्लादेश के land ports याद करने की जरूरत नहीं है कि अगर if UPSC will frame a question, it will frame on Indian land port. बांग्लादेश के important cities which are there on the borders of India, that should be there in your mind. और बांग्लादेश की तो proper location जैसे Sylhet, Cox's Bazar, Chittagong, Rajshahi, Dhaka, इसकी locations आपको on an average मालूम होना चाहिए. All the three statements hold true. Option C, C for cat is the right answer. इंडिया का जो टोटल यान एक्सपोर्ट होता है बांग्लादेश में, which you have written as 45%, उस 45% का 30% ही लैंड से जाता था, 70% वैसे भी सी रूट से ही जा रहा था, right? So that 30% will be impacted. Now this river was there in news. Focus on that. Mahuri River, which runs along India-Bangladesh border, was in news recently. Heard about that? Tripura, Mahuri River. It is a transboundary river. On the side of Bangladesh, Bangladesh was making embankment of the river, and this river is prone to flood. तो उन्होंने तो embankment बना दिया, अब जब flood आएगा तो पूरे इंडिया में आएगा. Are you getting that? If the river is flooding on both the sides, एक side आप दीवार बना दो, तब सारा flood उधर जाएगा. तो ये बांग्लादेश ने किया. It originates in the Lushai hills of Tripura. Yes. It flows through South Tripura district. It is also correct. It is known for Enna branching and avulsion. Enna branching, avulsion याद है? Enna branching जब river ऐसे bifurcate करके वापस मिल जाती है. माजुली आइलैंड ब्रह्मपुत्र बना रही. Enna branching. Avulsion overflow कर गया. पानी बहुत ज़्यादा हो गया, flow करके बहुत सारा braided channel बना. Muhuri Char island is located on this river. This island is located on this river. So these are the points related to this particular river. It was there in news. Apart from this, another river that was in news was there is a dam that is called as Kaila Shahar Dam. Kaila Shahar Dam in Tripura only. And over that, BGB, Border Guards Bangladesh, objected for the maintenance of Kaila Shahar Dam, and that is on a river. Let me check it. That is on Manu River. Manu River in Kaila Shahar Dam, that was also in news. उसका BGB ने obstruct कर दिया था कि हम इसका maintenance नहीं करने देंगे. Here all the four statements are correct, so all four, option D, D for dog, shall be the right answer. Question number 30. In IMD forecast on Indian monsoon, we often hear long period average LPA, which stands for over 50 years. Right? Generally, it is 50 years. At times, it is also 30 years. But generally, if you hear in newspaper, read in newspaper, it is long period average. It is last 50 years. And right now, the reference range is 1971 to 2020. That is going on. And it is 87 centimeter. अभी जो इंडिया की एवरेज एनुअल रेनफॉल है, that is 87 centimeter. The fluctuation reported usually mean differently. Consider the following. You keep on hearing in your deficient rain monsoon, below normal monsoon, normal, above normal, excess. So this is the bifurcation. Less than 90% deficient, 90 to 94%, 90 to 95% it is below normal, 96 to 104 normal, plus minus 4% का variation normal, 105 to 110 above normal, and उससे ज़्यादा होगा तो X. So all five are correct. Option D, D for dog is the. In relation to protection of plant varieties and Farmers' Right Authority (PV and FRA) under the Ministry of Agriculture and Farmer Welfare, Kyonjhar Kala Champa from the state of Odisha was in news. It is related to which type of crop? Any idea? Correct, paddy. Why paddy is there? Kyonjhar Kala Champa is basically a traditional variety of rice, right? Huh? Black rice तो नहीं है शायद. Black है? हो सकता है black. Black तो नहीं होगा. Brown तो हो भी सकता है. Black rice कैसा होता है? Okay, this variety was the first variety which is a traditional variety, and it is used on a commercial scale. It is known for its pest resistant properties, water resistant properties, strong shoot of the plant, लॉजिंग नहीं होती इसकी, बहुत ज़्यादा एंटी लॉजिंग प्रॉपर्टीज हैं इसमें, एंड इट इज़ फर्टिलाइजर फ्रेंडली, और अर्ली सोइंग लेट सोइंग सबके लिए चल जाएगा, राइट. दिस started it has started over there, and it is a variety of paddy, that is a rice. Next is under mission मौसम. Yes Suraj, correct. Under mission मौसम launched by the government of India, setting up of a cloud chamber were decided to study various behavioral aspects of cloud formation and their relation to monsoon. कहाँ पर establish हुआ? Indian Institute of Tropical Meteorology, Pune. What they are doing? They are making cloud in a chamber. They are causing evaporation, allowing the water to vapor to move up, causing artificial condensation, and trying to watch how cloud formation exactly takes place. For that, they have established a cloud chamber. It is first in India, and that is at Indian Institute of Tropical Meteorology, Pune, IITM. Right. So option A for apple, shall be the right answer. As per a recent report, Atlantic Meridional Overturning Circulation (AMOC) could slow down or collapse by the end of the century. Consider the following statements on AMOC. The first statement is saying that it involves the transfer of cold polar water from North Atlantic to tropics and warm water from tropics to North Atlantic. AMOC is what? Thermohaline circulation, taking place due to change in temperature and salinity, causes water to move. Right, on the surface it is moving from south to north, bottom it is moving from north to south. Right, so it is a part of thermohaline circulation. Correct. The cold melt water from the Greenland speeds up this circulation. The cold melt water is slowing down this circulation. Due to melt water, due to excessive melting of ice, what is happening? The salinity over there in Arctic is changing, and so the downward movement of water is taking place even before reaching the Arctic. The section of water of AMOC which has to subside down close to Arctic is subsiding down even before reaching Arctic, because their salinity is reduced because of melt water. So statement 3 is wrong, 1 and 2 are correct, so only 2, option B for boy is the correct answer. The instances and frequency of marine heat waves have increased exponentially on a global scale. Consider the following statements on marine heat waves. Now what is a marine heat wave? It is a rise in the sea surface temperature by 3 to 4 degrees Celsius over a period of 5 days. This is a correct statement. Movement of sea water from one place to another can be a reason for this. If hot water moves from one region to another, it can cause marine heat wave. It is a correct statement. It may exaggerate the effects of ocean acidification. Ocean acidification की वजह से जो कुछ negative हो रहा था, due to heat wave, it may further be accelerated. Correct. As per NASA in 2024, thermal expansion was far more pronounced a reason for sea level rise than glacier melting. In general, every year 2/3 of the sea level rise is due to glacier melting and 1/3 is due to thermal expansion. That is as per NASA. But in 2024, they discovered that 2/3 was because of thermal expansion and 1/3 because of glacier melting. That is a report of NASA. 1.5 degree land का breach हुआ था. So 2024 में they have declared that 2/3 of the sea level rise was because of thermal expansion and 1/3 was because of glacier melting. That is a report of NASA, and that is the exception case for 2024 only as per report of NASA. So all the statements hold true. So all 4, option D for dog, shall be the right answer. Clear on that? Arctic circumpolar current has been reported to weaken in next 2 to 3 decades. Consider the following statements out there. Our Antarctic circumpolar current, west wind drift, which keeps on moving around the continent of Antarctica, that is Antarctic circumpolar current, और ये 2-3 साल में वीक हो जाएगी, ये रिपोर्ट आ गई है. It is also known as west wind drift. The same is called as west wind drift, correct? It is the only current which is present in all the oceans, Atlantic, Pacific and Indian, correct? It moves clockwise around Antarctica. एंटी क्लॉकवाइज आप इंडिया से मत देखिए, अंटार्कटिका के ऊपर जाइए थोड़ा हवा में और फिर देखिए क्लॉकवाइज दिख रहा है कि एंटी क्लॉकवाइज? क्लॉकवाइज है ना, क्लॉकवाइज है. इफ यू मूव अप फ्रॉम अंटार्कटिका एंड देन सी अंटार्कटिका आपके नीचे है, अब करंट कैसे घूम रही है देखिए, क्लॉकवाइज. ऑल थ्री स्टेटमेंट्स होल्ड ट्रू. ऑप्शन सी, सी फॉर कैट, विल बी द राइट आंसर. Yes, Yuvraj, correct. Parvatmala scheme was started by Government of India to boost the transport on mountains and other regions. Consider the following statements on that. Under this, two major projects, Govind Ghat to Hemkund Sahib and Sonprayag to Kedarnath, were approved. Parvatmala is what? Ropeway scheme, trolley scheme. Yes or no? Two projects were approved by Government of India, Govind Ghat to Hemkund Sahib and Sonprayag to Kedarnath. It shall be implemented by National Highway Logistics Management Limited. NHAI नहीं है, NHAI का ये वो है subsidiary, National Highway Logistics Management Limited, that will implement. The project shall be executed under PPP framework. Yes. Govind Ghat Hemkund project shall be less in length than Sonprayag Kedarnath. Sonprayag Kedarnath is almost 12.9 kilometers and वो वाला is 12.4 kilometers. आधे किलोमीटर का अंतर है, केदारनाथ वाला half a kilometer ज़्यादा, right? So all the statements hold true. So option D, D for dog, shall be the right answer. IMD's annual climate survey of 2024 says that this year was 0.65 degrees Celsius warmer than 1991-2020 average. Global warming is considered as a major threat to agriculture and allied sectors. In relation to the same, consider the following statements on mango production. Various domestic and foreign studies anticipate the adverse impact of global warming on mango production. Data from Horticulture Department of India says that mango productivity in India increased over last 15 years. Productivity in India is higher than China and Thailand. The total area under mango cultivation has increased in India over last decade. पूरे ग्लोब में this discussion is going on that due to excessive global warming, all agriculture and allied sector along with mango production is getting negatively affected. India ka horticulture department is claiming that in last 15 years we have increased our production of mango. So statement 1 and statement 2 both are correct. Statement 3, productivity in India is higher than China and Thailand. Yes, productivity is more in India as compared to China and horticulture नहीं, mango production की बात हो रही है. Mango production. The total area under mango cultivation has also increased in India over this period. All four statements hold true. So option D, D for dog, shall be the right answer. Clear? Guneri in Gujarat were declared as the first biodiversity heritage site of the state, known for inland mangroves. Mangroves are generally related to coastal ecology. How many of the following could be the probable reasons for the existence of inland mangroves? Why question? This is the only inland mangrove site of India. In India, if mangroves are present inside, inland, away from the coastal area, this is the only site that is in Guneri. Occurrence of marine transgression in the past. So one of the theories says that this area would have been affected directly by sea waves. So यहाँ पर mangroves हो गए. The second explanation says that presence of limestone deposition connected to the sea. यहाँ limestone का deposition है नीचे और उनका connection है seabed से. तो वहाँ से saline brackish water mixed with limestone यहाँ पर बहुत सा रहता है. It is supporting mangroves. existence of now lost river porosity. One of the hypotheses also says that earlier river porosity used to flow from there, and that provided this ecosystem, supported this ecosystem over there, but now it is lost. So all three can be considered as a reason for that. Guneri in Gujarat, clear on that? The only site of India, and all over world only 8 sites are there. पूरी दुनिया में सिर्फ 8 जगह हैं जहाँ पर inland mangroves मिलता है. One of them is in India, that is in Guneri, Gujarat. NCR region often witnesses mild earthquakes. The last recorded in early 2025. अभी आया था ना कुछ दिन पहले. Consider the following fault lines and find out which of them can have an impact on NCR. जितनी भी fault lines हो सकती हैं जिसकी वजह से NCR पे earthquake आ सकता है वो मैंने सारी लिख दी. इनमें से किसी में भी कुछ होगा NCR में earthquake आ सकता है. Have a look at that. Delhi Haridwar Ridge, Mahendragarh Dehradun subsurface fault, मुरादाबाद fault, सोना fault, ये तो पेपर में आता रहता है. सोना fault. जैसे ही ये दिल्ली में earthquake आएगा सारे रिपोर्ट अब सबसे पहले सोना fault डाल देंगे. के बाद में पता चलेगा कि कुछ और था, लेकिन सोना फॉल्ट विल बी देयर. सोना फॉल्ट एंड दिस महेंद्रगढ़ फॉल्ट, उनको दो के नाम पता चल गए. वो जैसे ही रिपोर्ट लिखनी होगी सोना फॉल्ट में कुछ हुआ, महेंद्रगढ़ फॉल्ट में कुछ हुआ, बाद में 2 दिन बाद जो रिपोर्ट आएगी उसमें लिख के आएगा कि एक्चुअल में कहाँ क्या हुआ. ग्रेट बाउंड्री फॉल्ट अरावली और गंगा प्लेन के बीच में जो है, नॉर्दर्न प्लेन्स के बीच में, दैट इज ग्रेट बाउंड्री फॉल्ट. दिल्ली सरगोधा रिज, सरगोधा का नाम सुना है? हाँ सुना है. पाकिस्तान के एयरबेस पे भी इंडिया ने अटैक किया था ना, सरगोधा बेस. ये यहाँ दिल्ली से लेके पाकिस्तान तक गई ये रिज, दिल्ली सरगोधा रिज, दैट इज द सरगोधा एयरबेस जहाँ पर इंडिया ने अटैक किया था. यमुना रिवर lineament, Ganga river lineament. All these are fault lines or lineaments or ridges. A disturbance in any one of them can cause an earthquake in NCR. So all are related to NCR region. So option D, D for dog, will be the correct answer for the question. Are you getting that? Clear on that? Caspian Sea remained in news for rapid loss of water levels. Consider the following statements on that. The first statement: the northern part of Caspian records low salinity due to influx of river waters from Volga and Ural. Volga and River, both the rivers drain in northern part of Caspian Sea, and the second part, the southern part of the Caspian records high salinity due to excessive evaporation in Kara-Bogaz region. That is a Gulf of Kara-Bogaz, or Kara-Bogaz is also a region. Excessive evaporation. Northern part of Caspian Sea having higher latitude. Southern part of Caspian Sea low latitude, temperature more, evaporation more. North में evaporation कम. South में salinity ज़्यादा, north में salinity कम. Both are correct. So both 1 and 2. Option C, C for cat, is the right answer. Massive methane was emitted out during a volcanic eruption, a rare phenomena in recent past. Identify the volcano. Merapi. It is Mount Fentale, Ethiopia. Northern part of Ethiopia, Mount Fentale. Massive methane eruption. इतना ज़्यादा methane eruption recorded history में अभी तक नहीं है. Recent history में जो volcanic eruption में इतना methane निकला. Right. That is Mount Fentale, and that is in Ethiopia, and that is in northern part of Ethiopia. Clear on that? So answer is C, C for cat. United Nations declared 2025 as the International Year of Glaciers Preservation, with 21st March as the World Day of Glaciers. 21st of March has been declared as World Day of Glaciers, and this year only it has started, 2025. Recently, United Nations Water Development Report 2025 was released by UNESCO titled Mountains and Glaciers Water Towers. Verify the following statement as given in the report. Now it is again as per the report. What is the report saying? So Hindu Kush Himalayan glaciers are thinning at the fastest rate, retreating 65% faster between 2011-20 than in the previous decade. This is the statement by this report. If the global temperature increases by 1.5 degree to 2 degrees Celsius, then the Hindu Kush Himalayan glacier will recede by 30 to 50%. if the global temperature increases by 1.5 to 4 degrees Celsius, then not only Hindu Kush Himalaya, the report is saying about entire mountain glaciers of the world, they can recede by 26 to 41%. And by the end of century, the Gulf phenomena will triple out in terms of frequency, in terms of number. So all the four statements are given by the report. So option D, D for dog, shall be the right answer. Clear on that? Kacha Gachi Bauli. Heard about this forest? Why it is in news? हाँ हाँ, यूनिवर्सिटी के बगल में फॉरेस्ट लैंड था, तो गवर्नमेंट ने दे दिया आईटी इन द सिटी बनाने के लिए, वो सुप्रीम कोर्ट पहुंच गए। सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने कहा कि चीफ सेक्रेटरी और सारे ऑफिसर को वहीं फॉरेस्ट की साइट पे जेल में डाल दिया जाएगा। एंड इट इज नॉट रेडी टू लिसन एनीथिंग, कह रहा है आप उसको सिर्फ रिस्टोर करने की बात करो, ये प्रूफ मत करो कि यहाँ फॉरेस्ट नहीं था, आपको सिर्फ ये करना। एंड इट इज अगेन इन न्यूज, मिस इंडिया मिस वर्ल्ड शुरू हुआ, मिस वर्ल्ड चल रहा है ना अभी, नहीं पता, इंडिया में चल रहा है, और उसका पहला inaugural event of Miss World this year was in Hyderabad at Gachibowli only. So Gachibowli forest remained in news with a stay by the Supreme Court of India on felling of trees. Which of the following places is associated with this forest? Hyderabad. So option A for apple, Hyderabad is the correct answer. Vembanad Lake, the largest lake of Kerala, has shrunk significantly in the last century due to land encroachment and pollution. Consider the following statements on Lake Vembanad. Vembanad Lake आप सबको पता. Consider the statements over there to add on your information to Vembanad Lake. It is a backwater lake and the longest lake of India. It has a unique blend of salt water as well as fresh water. A barrage is there which separates salt water from fresh water. Midnight Sands, Pathiramanal, is an island on this particular lake. One island on this lake named so. And these are the rivers which are draining into these lakes: Pamba, Periyar, Manimala, Minachil. Periyar is a prominent river. Other small rivers are mentioned which drain into this particular lake. Apart from these rivers, there are a number of small rivers also. Total number of rivers which Google search is showing is more than 8 or 9, right? But 4 I have mentioned over there. Clear on that? All the 4 statements hold true. Option D, D for dog, shall be the right answer to this. Consider the following pairs. These dams keep on coming up in newspaper every now and then. Indus Water TT को लेके, right? ऐसा नहीं कि इसी बार हुआ, लास्ट टाइम भी जब हुआ था तो भी इन डैम्स का नाम आ रहा था, पुलवामा के समय भी आ रहा था, उरी अटैक पे भी आ रहा था, सब पे आ रहा था, हमेशा आता रहता है, आगे कुछ होगा तब भी आएगा, तो सेम. ओके ओके ओके, राइट राइट. कि पाकिस्तान के नाम में है प्रॉब्लम, मैंने अभी शुरू ही की थी बात इंडस वाटर टीटी की, वहां फायर ड्रिल होने लगी. भाखड़ा नंगल, that is on river Satluj, it is in Himachal. Pong is on river Vyas, it is also in Himachal. Ranjit Sagar is on river Ravi, it is at the border of Jammu Kashmir and Punjab. Hachni Kund is on Yamuna, यही हरियाणा में. It is basically a barrage on in Haryana on river Yamuna. All 4 are correctly matched. They remain in news, so you should know the location at least, which state on which river. So all 4 are correct. Option D, D for dog, shall be the right answer. Yes, Harsh, yes, Shivraj, you are correct. Next question, have a look. Funanteko Canal of Cambodia had remained in news with respect to trade equations in Southeast Asia. Consider the following statements on that. Funanteko Canal, heard for that? Right? Mekong river makes delta at Ho Chi Minh City in Vietnam, right? Cambodia is dependent upon water transport through river Mekong to reach the ports of Vietnam, and from there it transports the good to different parts of the world for cross-border trade. This is a canal which is made from the capital of Cambodia directly linking it to Gulf of Thailand. It will draw the water from Mekong river and it will provide an extra water channel for Cambodia without being dependent on Vietnam, right. This is Funan Teco Canal and it is a part of Belt and Road Initiative of China. It is basically an infrastructure project of Cambodia country. So it shall connect Phnom Penh to Gulf of Thailand, it is correct. It shall draw water from Mekong, it's correct. It will reduce the dependence of Cambodia on Vietnam, it is also correct. It is backed by China and is a part of Belt and Road Initiative, right. अभी US प्रेसिडेंट ने जब सारे टैरिफ लगाए और चाइना के साथ टैरिफ वॉर हुआ तो चाइना स्टार्टेड increasing its presence in Southeast Asia. It started interacting with Vietnam, Laos, Cambodia, Thailand, in सब countries से उसने अपना interaction बढ़ाया, right? So all four are correct. Option D, D for dog, is the correct answer. Polavaram project remained in news throughout last year and even before that. Had maintained a place in news throughout the year. Consider the following statements. It is being built on Godavari river in Andhra Pradesh. Polavaram project. It is on Godavari river. It shall divert the flood water from Godavari to Krishna. पानी गोदावरी से कृष्णा में जाएगा. Its spillway is said to have largest discharge capacity in the world, even more than Three Gorges Dam of China. Yes. Spillway इसका जो बना रहे हैं, it is one of the largest, having discharge capacity more than that dam, Three Gorges Dam of China, and for that it is known. Polavaram project. And what is a spillway? Spillway is basically at a time of flood, excess water, when it has to be released from the dam, for that spillway is used, right. But this spillway is having a higher discharge capacity as compared to Three Gorges Dam. It is projected under construction है, बन के तैयार हो जाने दो. लेकिन अभी this statement will hold true. So all three are correct. Option C, C for cat, is the right answer. Apart from Chandipur and Wheeler Island, Government of India announced the construction of a third missile testing range at, that is ISRO's next launch pad. PSCC is already ISRO's station. Turls भी ISRO का center है. Nagayalanka in Andhra Pradesh, they have launched as the third missile testing range. First is Chandipur, Wheeler Island, that was renamed as APJ Abdul Kalam Island, and the third they have started at Nagayalanka in Andhra Pradesh. District is Krishna district of Andhra Pradesh, where they have started. Kulasekara is ISRO's next launch pad, which is being developed in Tamil Nadu. So option D, D for dog, shall be the right answer. Global glacier casualty list has included Yala glacier, indicating its critical status. Consider the following statement. The glacier which are about to be vanished, खत्म हो जाएंगे पूरी तरह, zero हो जाएंगे, or which have already vanished in near past, they are included in this list, which is called as glacier casualty list, right. Yala glacier is present in Nepal. It was included in this list and it has been anticipated that by 2040, it means in next 15 years or 16 years, it will be all over. And it is the only glacier from Himalayan region which is included in this list, which will be vanished in next 15 years. So GLCC was launched in 2024 by UNESCO, World Meteorological Organization, World Glacier Monitoring Services, document endangered glaciers. Apart from that, number of organizations are there, सबने मिलके launch किया, right? Yala is the only glacier from Himalayas to be included in this list, 100% correct. It is located in Langtang Valley of Nepal, it is also correct. It is predicted to disappear by 2040. All four statements hold true. So option D, D for dog, shall be the right answer. An alternative source of sand in the form of manufactured sand, also known as M sand, was envisaged by Ministry of Mines. Consider the following statements on that aspect. It can be produced by crushing rocks or waste material from quarrying. कहीं भी आपने mining करी, मिनरल नीचे है जो आपको चाहिए था। तो क्वेरिंग इज व्हाट, रिमूविंग द सरफेस। तो जो रॉक्स आपने हटाए उसको ही ले गए, क्रश कर दिए, उससे सैंड बना दी, एम सैंड और मैन्युफैक्चर्ड सैंड। इट इज कॉस्ट इफेक्टिव, कंसिस्टेंट, लेस वाटर इंटेंसिव एंड एनवायरमेंट फ्रेंडली। रिवर्स के बेड का कुछ नहीं होगा, मैरीन इकोलॉजी बचेगी, पॉल्यूशन कम होगा। सो इट स्टेटमेंट होल्ड्स। Generally, it does not have organic or inorganic or impurities as found in natural sand. Natural sand कहाँ से मिलेगी? रिवर बेड से ही तो मिलेगी, उसमें impurities होती हैं। इसमें probability of natural organic और inorganic impurities की कम है, rule out नहीं कर सकते, it cannot be ruled out, but probability is less. It is better than natural sand in terms of concrete strength. Concrete की strength भी ज़्यादा होता है, water intensive, water resistant भी होता है, water ज़्यादा use नहीं करता। Are you getting that? मतलब एक दाना अगर आप नेचुरल सैंड का लेंगे, उसको आप पानी, जितने पानी में पूरी तरह भीगेगा, एंड इसका एक दाना, the water quantity is having a difference. So this will require less water, that requires more water. It will provide more strength, that will provide less strength. Clear? So all four statements hold true. Option D, D for dog, is the right answer. ठीक है? Los Angeles fires were related to the rare climatic phenomena known as hydroclimatic whiplash. जो सेंटाना पे भी आपने क्वेश्चन किया, सेंटाना फायर्स पे, कैलिफोर्निया फायर्स पे, that phenomena in climatology or in normal terminology is called as hydroclimatic whiplash. So what is hydroclimatic whiplash? Due to changes in quantity of water, due to changes in quantity of all these parameters, water, rainfall, change in climate, the seasons of a place change. How change? Alternate wet and dry season. एक साल drought होगा, next year flood, next year drought, next year flood. That is hydroclimatic whiplash. Are you getting that? So due to this fast change of season, what happened? 2023-24 का winter Mediterranean climate होता है कैलिफोर्निया में, yes or no? That region is known for hot, dry summer, mild, rainy winter. तो 23-24 के बीच का जो पीरियड था, जो विंटर सीजन आया, तो वहां पर खूब बारिश। Winters of 2023 and starting of 2024, heavy rainfall, good rainfall, hot dry summer बीत गया, mild rainfall, winter हो गया, तो greenery started, heavy greenery, huge greenery, many trees, many leaves were grown over there. 2024-25 का जो winter season आया, that was a drought season, बारिश हुई नहीं, so all those leaves which were cultivated, which were generated last year, they became dry, and the total humus content, the total leaf litter in that particular region was exceptionally high. Why? Because of hydroclimatic whiplash. It was coupled up with Santa Ana winds, it was coupled up with human negligence. अभी तक पता नहीं चला कि फायर इनिशिएट कैसे हुआ, ह्यूमन नेग्लिजेंस था कि नेचुरल रीजन था, दिस इज येट नॉट क्लियर, राइट? तो ह्यूमन नेग्लिजेंस कैसे हो सकता, कुछ भी हो सकता, सिगरेट पी रहे डाल दिए ऐसे, are you getting that? So human negligence can be anything. So it started. So statements on that, it refers to rapid swings between intensely wet and dangerously dry season. एकदम से wet season आएगा, अगले साल एकदम opposite dry, फिर पूरा wet, फिर पूरा dry, right? It increases the number of droughts and flood, correct? California witnessed wet season in early 2024, followed by extreme dry season in 2024-25, which led to the spread of forest fires. All three statements hold true, and this is basically explaining you the term hydroclimatic whiplash. Are you getting that? So all three, option C for cat, is the correct answer. A rare weather phenomena that almost all 50 states of USA experienced snowfall last winter at the same time. Which of the following can be the probable reasons for the same? USA को ध्यान से रिकॉल करिए दिमाग में, extent of USA, right? Weakening of the polar vortex. Polar vortex is basically around polar region, right? ये weak हो गया, तो ये धीरे धीरे एरिया को अपना एक्सपेंस इसने बढ़ा लिया. So the cold air started deflecting south and it reached the region of USA. Why it became weak? Because of sudden stratospheric warming. Stratospheric cold होता है तो polar vortex cyclone का formation होता है, that is polar vortex. स्ट्रेटोस्फीयर में टेम्परेचर बढ़ गया, दैट इज स्ट्रेटोस्फेरिक वार्मिंग, and due to that polar vortex weakened out, and so the air reached even the region of USA. Storms from Gulf of Mexico and Pacific. Water was carried from the region of Gulf of Mexico and Pacific that entered the region. Low temperature by weakening of polar vortex. Arctic amplification. Due to Arctic amplification, the overall climatic condition change, which is again related to polar vortex, El Nino and La Nina patterns. All these in a combined manner resulted in the formation of this phenomena that all states of USA or the entire mainland of USA was experiencing snowfall at one and the same time. Are you getting that? This is a rare phenomena. इससे 15 साल पहले हुआ था 2010 में, उसके बाद अब हुआ. So all 6 are there. Option D, D for dog, shall be the correct answer. A volcano Mount Ibu erupted more than 1000 times in a month this year. एक ही महीने में 1000 times. Where it is? Indonesia? Yes. It is located in Indonesia. It is located on the eastern island of Halmahera. Indonesia, Sumatra, Java. Java के north में Borneo. Borneo के east में Sulawesi. Sulawesi के further east में Halmahera. Right? On Halmahera के eastern side में you are having this volcano. It erupted more than 1000 times in 1 month, and it is a part of Pacific Ring of Fire. Correct. All 3 statements hold true. Option C, C for cat, is the correct answer. Lake Naivasha of Kenya. Lake Naivasha of Kenya remained in news due to multitude of reasons. Consider the following statements. Naivasha Kenya की lake news में थी. Why it was in news? For yes, water hyacinth के लिए, and for floods. Floods के लिए भी था. It is a freshwater lake and a Ramsar site. It is a freshwater lake, Ramsar site in Kenya. It is known for hippopotamus and flamingos. Hippo lake ही कहते हैं इसे. Hippopotamus देखने ही लोग यहाँ जाते हैं. It is affected by invasive water hyacinth. जलकुंभी होती water hyacinth. Due to that, fishing के लिए बहुत detrimental है. मूवमेंट ऑफ शिप्स के लिए भी, नॉर्मल वेसल्स के लिए, छोटे छोटे बोट्स के लिए भी मूवमेंट बहुत टिपिकल हो जाता है. वाटर हायसिंथ में बहुत सारे जानवर ऐसे भी फंस जाते हैं. वाटर हायसिंथ यू नो और नॉट, देखा हुआ ना. इट इज अफेक्टेड बाय राइजिंग वाटर लेवल्स फेड बाय मलेवा एंड गिलगिल रिवर्स फ्रॉम अल्बेडेयर माउंटेन्स ऑफ केन्या. केन्या से 2 रिवर्स आके इसमें मिलती हैं, जिसकी वजह से इसमें फ्लडिंग हो रही है. एंड ड्यू टू फ्लडिंग इट इज अफेक्टेड बाय, it is affecting the surrounding regions also. All 4 statements hold true. That is for Naivasha Lake of Kenya. So option D, D for dog, is the correct answer. One of the prominent river linking projects, Ken Betwa river linking project, बहुत hyped रहा पिछले साल. It was inaugurated, I think December, नवंबर दिसंबर में कभी इनॉग्रेशन हुआ इसका. Consider the following statements on that. It is to divert the surplus water from river Ken to river Betwa. पानी बेतवा से केन में जाएगा कि केन से बेतवा में जाएगा? हाँ, केन बेतवा लिंक प्रोजेक्ट है फ्रॉम केन टू बेतवा. केन में पानी है, उसको बेतवा में डाल, राइट. इट इज फोकस ऑन यूपी एंड एमपी टारगेटिंग बुंदेलखंड रीजन. बुंदेलखंड इज लोकेटेड बिटवीन केन एंड बेतवा ओनली, बिटवीन केन एंड बेतवा. हाँ, केन और बेतवा के. It will impact the Panna National Park by construction of Dhausan Dam. This dam was in limelight because it will negatively impact the ecology of the region, biodiversity of the region. Both the rivers Ken and Betwa are tributaries of Yamuna. ऐसे मत करो यार तुम लोग. ये आ रही यमुना, राइट. ये रही चंबल, ये है बनास, ये पार्वती, काली सिंध, सिंध बेतवा केन, सिंध बेतवा केन, पार्वती, काली सिंध, बनास, दिस रिवर इज चंबल, ये रही यमुना, और यहाँ से आई गंगा, मिल गई गंगा. गंगा, सिंध बेतवा केन, ऑल 3 आर ट्रिब्यूटरीज ऑफ यमुना. सिंध बेतवा और केन के बीच में दिस इज बुंदेलखंड, बेतवा और केन के बीच में. और यहाँ पर आपकी एक नदी जा रही है सोन, सोन की ट्रिब्यूटरी है रिहंद, यहाँ पर है रिहंद, ये है सोन, राइट। सिंध और बेतवा के बीच में बुंदेलखंड, केन और रिहंद के बीच में भांडेर, रिहंद और सोन के बीच में बघेलखंड। बघेलखंड इज बेसिकली ऑन रिवर सोन, राइट। तो सिंध, बेतवा, केन, चंबल, these are tributaries of Yamuna. Banas, Kali Sindh and Parvati, these are tributaries of Chambal. And Yamuna is a tributary of Ganga. Son is a tributary of Ganga. Rihan is a tributary of Son. Are you getting that? Rihan की दो एक tributary और है, North Koel. North Koel आके मिलती है रिहन में. South Koel कहाँ जाती है? ब्राह्मणी में चली जाती है, मेरे ख्याल से ब्राह्मणी में जाएगी, इधर नहीं आती वो. So both the rivers Ken and that is Narmada, Mahanadi and Son. हाँ, that is basically a tributary of Mahanadi, पर आप उसे महानदी बोल लीजिए. हाँ, महानदी, नर्मदा, सोन, three rivers originate from Amarkantak. Son towards Ganga river system, Mahanadi directly towards Bay of Bengal, and Narmada towards Arabian Sea. It will impact the both rivers Ken and Betwa, tributaries of Yamuna, correct? IIT Bombay has warned against the negative impact of the project on rainfall. IIT Bombay has reported कि अगर आप ये प्रोजेक्ट बनाएंगे तो वहाँ का जो ओवरऑल रेनफॉल है वो कम हो जाए. क्या आप डिफॉरेस्टेशन करेंगे, डैम बनाएंगे, लिंक करेंगे, तो जितना डिफॉरेस्टेशन करेंगे उसकी वजह से ओवरऑल रेनफॉल विल बी इम्पैक्टेड. दिस इज द रिपोर्ट ऑफ IIT Bombay. And one other rumor that is there in this particular department over there, that Ken is not having that much amount of water that you can divert it to Betwa. और जिस समय केन के पास पानी उतना होता है कि आप उसे डाइवर्ट कर सके, उस समय बेतवा में भी पानी. So why are you making this project? But that is not our cup of tea. We are related with these aspects and all the statements hold true. So all five, option D, D for dog is the next question. Project line is being implemented in Gir landscape in Gujarat. Gir is the only natural habitat for Asiatic lions in the entire world. Yes or no? Consider the following statements on that. IUCN had downlisted Asiatic lions from critically endangered to endangered in 2008 and very recently to vulnerable. अभी vulnerable कर दिया ना? हाँ, अब क्या कर दिया? एक ही लाइन कर दिया. As per 2020 lion census, their population had decreased inside forest and increased, almost doubled outside. 2020 सेंसस यही कह रहा है कि जंगल में कम मिलना है, बाहर ज्यादा मिलना है, राइट. 16th cycle to estimate the number of lions is planned in, अभी स्टार्ट हो गई एक हफ्ता पहले. ये जब क्वेश्चन बनाया था तब ये प्लान थी, अभी ये स्टार्ट हो गई एक हफ्ता पहले. इट हैज स्टार्टेड 1 week बिफोर इट हैज स्टार्टेड इन इंडिया. तो ऑल थ्री स्टेटमेंट होल्ड ट्रू. अभी उन्होंने क्या किया, 10,000 साल पुराना वोल्फ बना दिया. देखा, 10,000 years back that wolf became extinct और उसको दोबारा रीजनरेट कर दिया. नहीं पता आप लोग? किसी दिन डायनासोर बना देंगे सर. हाँ, उस पर भी वर्क कर रहे हैं. मुझे वही देख के डर लग रहा है, किसी दिन डायनासोर बना देंगे तब क्या होगा. मेहमत तो बनाने में काम चल रहा है, बना देंगे वो. तो हियर व्हाट वाज द आंसर? ऑल थ्री होल्ड ट्रू. हाँ, 5 साल में. हाँ, 20 में हुआ था, 25 में फिर हो रहा. शुक्र करो उनका टाइम पे हो तो रहा है, उन लोगों का सेंसस टाइम पे हो तो रहा है लाइन का. कंसिडर द फॉलोइंग पेयर्स. जनरेशन Z, जनरेशन अल्फा, जनरेशन बीटा. पता है कि नहीं पता? generations are named X, Y, Z, alpha, beta at gap of every 14 to 15 years. और these years which are written over here, different sources में आपको different variation मिलेगा. कहीं 2 साल कम से शुरू होगा, 2 साल बाद तक चल रहा होगा, ये वेरिएशन मिलेगा, राइट. generation X was up till 80, Y was 80 to 95, Z was 95 to 2009. मैंने Z से इसलिए लिया क्योंकि आप सब लोग इसी जनरेशन में आए, तो Z से अल्फा से, and this year onwards beta has started, right? So alpha, beta, gamma, these are the names. All three are matched correctly. Option C for cat. Vizhinjam International Port remained in use, inaugurated. इंडिया का ट्रांसशिपमेंट पोर्ट है, पहला ट्रांसशिपमेंट पोर्ट है, yes or no? ट्रांसशिपमेंट पोर्ट इंडिया ने यहाँ बनाया, दूसरा बना रहा है गैलेथिया में. Why India is making transshipment port? To capture the market of Singapore, Colombo, दुबई, जो आसपास के मेजर पोर्ट्स हैं जो ट्रांसशिपमेंट पोर्ट की तरह काम कर रहे हैं, उनका मार्केट कैप्चर करने. It is India's first deep water and container transshipment port along Kerala, was officially inaugurated by Prime Minister recently. Consider the following statements on that. Rajendra Chola Pattinam and Balita are the old names of the same port. Vizhinjam port के पुराने नाम as per historical records are these. It is also anticipated to work as a global bunkering hub. Bunkering hub is what? Any port that supplies clean fuel to, or as a refueling port for various ships which are navigating in the international waters, that is called as a bunkering hub. Bunkering कहते हैं उसको. So details will be doing for that. Green fuel, clean fuel, it will work as a bunkering hub. So both the statement hold true. Option C for cat will be the correct answer. Clear on that? Food and Agriculture Organization (FAO) of the United Nations released its first major assessment report in 50 years as Global Status of Salt Affected Soils in December 2024. Consider the following statements on the outcomes of the report. Go through all the statements. It is said that 10% of the total global land area is affected by salinization. Correct statement. 10% of irrigated as well as 10% of rain-fed is also affected by salinization. So it is not only that irrigation is causing salinization, even the rain-fed region is affected equally by salinization. Salt affected soils are categorized as saline soils. It is divided as salinization into two categories. One, salt affected saline, sodium affected sodic soils. And in India they have said that sodic soils are having more concentration as compared to saline soils. So statement number 4, salinity stress 5, the report, let us do one by one. Salt affected soils are categorized as saline soils, elevated amount of soluble salt, and sodic soils, excess of exchangeable sodium. Sodium free form में होता है, move करता रहता है. Salinity stress can lead to crop yields losses. This report has specifically spoken about rice and beans and is saying that productivity of production will drop by 70%. The report calls for a legal framework. Legal framework की पहली बार बात कर रहा है. For salinization, make a law. Go for legal challenges. It is asking to make a legal framework at the national and international level to safeguard the natural saline ecosystem. India had a salt affected area which is approximately 2.1% of the total geographical area, correct statement hai, and it is having more effect of sodium as compared to other salts. Most affected in India in terms of area is Gujarat, and this is the order given by UP, Maharashtra, West Bengal and Rajasthan. So these are all the statements given by this particular report. It is all statements hold true. Have a look at these two statements. It has talked about irrigation induced salinization in Rajasthan and Uttar Pradesh, right? And it is speaking about the remedies. Remedies ने क्या क्या suggest करी हैं? They are written over there. All the 9 hold true. Option D for dog shall be the correct answer for this particular. Informatory है, UPSC आपसे इतना डिटेल में जाके क्वेश्चन नहीं पूछेगा. I have already told you. All relevant points related to this topic, FAO की जो रिपोर्ट आई है उससे रिलेटेड जितने पॉइंट्स हैं मैंने यहाँ लिख दी. इनको आप यहीं से प्रिपेयर कर लीजिए. All are written correctly, all are factually correct. They have been cross checked using AI, using Google and using all the printed material. उससे आप इसको चेक कर लीजिए, उसके बाद आप यहाँ से इसको पढ़ लीजिए. यूपीएससी इतना विविड नहीं पूछेगा, लेकिन इसमें से एक दो स्टेटमेंट उठा के पूछ सकता है प्रीलिम्स में. Consider the following pairs. Again the dams and the location. ये डैम्स फिर से न्यूज में रहे इंडस वाटर ट्रीटी को लेके. All are in Jammu and Kashmir. Focus over there. Kishan Ganga is on Kishan Ganga river only, but the main river is Jhelum. So it is related with Jhelum or Kishan Ganga. किशन गंगा रिवर को ही हम वहाँ पीओके में कहा जाता है नीलम, द सेम रिवर इज कॉल्ड एज नीलम। और इसके ऊपर डिस्प्यूट क्या हुआ? व्हाट वाज द डिस्प्यूट ऑन दैट? Pakistan said that you cannot make this project. Why you cannot make this project? Because it is written in Indus Water Treaty that any infrastructural requirements of Pakistan or agricultural requirements of Pakistan or drinking water requirements of Pakistan should not be hampered by any of the act of India on Indus, Jhelum and Chenab, the three western rivers. ये इंडस वाटर ट्रीटी में लिखा हुआ है कि इंडिया के किसी भी एक्शन की वजह से पाकिस्तान के किसी भी प्रोजेक्ट पे, पानी पे और खेती पे असर नहीं आना चाहिए। इंडिया ने क्या किया? इंडिया ने किशन गंगा के पानी को चैनलाइज किया और ले जाके झेलम में डाल दिया और उस पर रन ऑफ द रिवर प्रोजेक्ट बना दिया, दिस इज कॉल्ड एज किशन गंगा प्रोजेक्ट, राइट। पाकिस्तान ने क्लेम किया कि इससे हमें दिक्कत है। जब इंटरनेशनल कोर्ट ऑफ जस्टिस ने पूछा कि तुम्हें दिक्कत क्या है, तो उसने कहा कि हम नीलम रिवर पे प्लान कर रहे हैं कि एक प्रोजेक्ट बनाएंगे। पाकिस्तान का कहना आप देखिए, पाकिस्तान की इंतहा देखिए। पाकिस्तान कह रहा है कि हम नीलम रिवर पे एक प्रोजेक्ट बनाएंगे और उस प्रोजेक्ट में पानी हमको सफिशिएंट नहीं मिल पाएगा अगर इंडिया ने ये प्रोजेक्ट बना दिया। तो आईसीजे रूल्ड दैट दिस clause which is written as per the available infrastructure, as per the available project which are running in Pakistan, not as per the future planning. Future planning में तो आपको कि हम सारा पानी पी जाएंगे, इसका क्या मतलब? That is Kishanganga on Jhelum. Paglihar, Ratley and Salal, these three are on Chenab. And Tulbul navigation, it is Wooler barrage, it is on Jhelum. Wooler lake है, Wooler lake पे Jhelum river जा रही है, वहाँ पर इंडिया ने एक बैराज बना दिया पानी को कंट्रोल करने के लिए कि आगे फ्लड ना आए। पाकिस्तान क्या कह रहा है कि आपने बैराज बना के पानी रोक लिया, आप पानी को स्टोर कर रहे हैं। दिस इज द कॉन्फ्लिक्ट बाय पाकिस्तान। ऑल फाइव आर राइट। इंडस वाटर ट्रीटी इज नाउ इन एबेयंस। एबेयंस का मतलब रोज पेपर में आ रहा है एबेयंस एबेयंस एबेयंस। एक्सटर्नल अफेयर मिनिस्ट्री एबेयंस से यूज कर रहा है। कोई नहीं कह रहा हमने सस्पेंड किया, कोई नहीं कह रहा कि हमने डिसमिस किया, कोई नहीं कह रहा कि हमने इसे खत्म कर दिया। एबेयंस वर्ड वो सीसाइड में पूछेंगे आपसे। दैट इज या डिसयूज कर दिया, दैट मीनिंग इज डिसयूज, नॉट यूजिंग। तो आंसर क्या है? ऑल फाइव। ऑप्शन डी, डी फॉर डॉग। Which of the following statement relates to the concept of spongicity? Sponge is what? Porous. It retains water. So all those parameters which you can think of, which will retain water in urban infrastructure or in urban region, that is the concept of spongicity. So construction of large water reservoirs, placing permeable rocks as pavement, replacing traditional concrete ones, yes. Blending green infrastructure, that is park, wetland, forest, etc. with grey infrastructure, that is drainage, to regulate water flow and mitigate floods. Right? Green infrastructure हम इनको बोलते हैं, grey infrastructure which we use on daily life, roads हैं ये सब grey infrastructure. Avoiding construction, that is urban infrastructure near water bodies. Right? So all four will be there. That is the concept of spongicity. So all four, option D, D for dog is the correct answer. Right? Recently घर चोला साड़ीज, इनको जीआई टैग मिला। व्हाट इज दैट? इट इज अ ट्रेडिशनल वियर ऑफ गुजरात, साड़ी है। इट इज बोथ ऑन कॉटन एज वेल एज सिल्क, इट कैन बी कॉटन एज वेल एज सिल्क, और इस पे सिल्क या जरी थ्रेड को यूज करते हैं। जरी इज बेसिकली व्हाट? गोल्डन कलर thread that is used. So all three are there, that is related to Gharchola sarees that has received a GI tag. So all three, option C, C for cat is the correct answer. In recent past, South Korea formally declared that it has transitioned to a super-aged society. Transition to a super-aged society. Consider the following statements on that. Super-aged society क्या होता है? 65 प्लस की जो पॉपुलेशन है, if the population having age of 65 plus crosses 7%, it is called as aging society, aging. If it crosses 14%, it is called as aged, and if it crosses 20%, then it is super age. 65% प्लस पॉपुलेशन का जो प्रोपोर्शन है, if it crosses 7% it is aging, crosses 14% it is aged, if it is 20% or more than that it is super aged, and Korea is in that category. So as per United Nations, when the share of population ages 65% exceeds 20%, then it is classified as a super age society, correct? South Korea is the second country after Japan in Asia to achieve this status. First was Japan, second is South Korea, third अभी कोई नहीं, only two in Asia. Global population aged 60 plus is projected to reach 2.1 billion by 2050. As per UNFPA, UNFPA is what? United Nations Population Fund 2023. India's elderly population will exceed 20% of total by 2050. 2050 tak. But here it is talking about India's elderly population. It is 60 plus. It is not 65 plus. United Nations had declared 2021 to 2030 as a decade of healthy aging. 2021 to 2030 is declared in terms of demographic. It has been declared as decade of healthy aging. So all five statements hold true. So all five, option D, D for dog, is the correct answer. Next question. National Mission on Natural Farming were recently launched by the Government of India. Consider the following statements of that. Bharatiya Prakritik Krishi Paddhati was renamed as National Mission on Natural Farming. Bharatiya Prakritik Krishi Paddhati was working under Paramparagat Krishi Sinchai Yojana, Krishi Vikas Yojana. ठीक, उसके अंदर थे, that has been renamed as natural farming. It does not use chemical fertilizers and hence climate friendly. Natural farming में natural fertilizers use करने is correct. It is labor intensive, it requires more labor, correct. Generally it is more prone to pests in comparison to chemical farming. Generally, not absolute. In some cases even it can be less prone, but generally it is more prone. So all four statements hold true and they go with the concept of natural farming. Option D, D for dog, is the correct answer. Recently, 24 coastal villages in Odisha were recognized as tsunami ready. Consider the following statements on that. Tsunami ready villages. It is a recognition by the Intergovernmental Oceanographic Commission of UNESCO. Yes. Tsunami ready recognition program is a voluntary performance based community program. Community based program है, एक दूसरे को information एक दूसरे को सिखाते हैं. This recognition is renewable every 4 years, not absolute. Every 4 years renew करेंगे because population mobile है. जिनको सिखाया वो छोड़ के चले गए, right? It does not mean that a community is tsunami proof. Tsunami ready है, proof नहीं है. Tsunami proof कुछ भी नहीं. In India, National Tsunami Ready Board under Ministry of Earth Sciences implements that. There is a National Tsunami Board in India and it is under Ministry of Earth Sciences. All the statements hold true. All five. Clear on that? Last year, few elephants died in Bandhavgarh Tiger Reserve of Madhya Pradesh, which was related to consumption of kodo millet. Consider the following statements on that. Bandhavgarh Tiger Reserve, वहाँ पर मरे थे elephants. कोडो मिलेट खा के नहीं सुना. कोडो मिलेट वाज देयर इन न्यूज. एक अलग तरह का मिलेट होता है. मिलेट मींस मोटा अनाज. इट वाज देयर इन न्यूज. योर क्वेश्चन इज आस्किंग यू ऑन कोडो मिलेट. So it is native to India. Yes, it is native to India. It is known as Kodra and Varagu. These are the local names. Kodra, Varagu कहते हैं इसे. Madhya Pradesh is the leading producer in India. Overall, Rajasthan is the leading producer of millets in India. But for kodo millet, Madhya Pradesh is the leading producer. Correct. Presence of mycotoxin, cyclopyrazonic acid. This was found in kodo millet due to which poisoning took place. So it is there in kodo millet and this was the cause of poisoning. अब इसका तो इसको कुक करने का तरीका है कोडो मिलेट को. दैट हैज टू बी वेरी परफेक्ट. अगर कुकिंग का तरीका गड़बड़ हुआ तो ये चला जाएगा, right? So it was a cause for the poisoning. All statements written over here are correct. All four. Option D, D for dog, is the correct answer. Clear on that? The largest coral of the world. सोलोमन आइलैंड में मिला ना? It was discovered in Solomon Island, an island group known as Three Sisters. Yes or no? Solomon Island का एक island group है that is having name Three Sisters. वहाँ पे मिला. Solomon Islands are volcanic in origin and a part of Coral Triangle. Coral Triangle में कौन सी countries हैं? यही नहीं है. Coral Triangle is having Philippines. जरूरी यूपीएससी ये पूछेगी कि ऑस्ट्रेलिया है कि नहीं है? इंडोनेशिया, मलेशिया, फिलीपींस, सोलोमन, टिमोर लेस्टे and Papua New Guinea. 6 countries. Indonesia, Malaysia, Philippines, Papua New Guinea, Timor Leste and Solomon Islands. 6 countries are there in Coral Triangle. So Solomon Islands are volcanic in origin. Yes, they are volcanic in origin. It is estimated to be more than 300 years old and visible from space. ये जो coral reef वो मिला. Prior to the discovery, the largest coral was Big Mama of American Samoa. अमेरिकन के जो समोआ आइलैंड्स हैं उनमें अभी तक this coral was having the record of having the categorization as largest coral, Big Mama. लेकिन अब ये हो गया. इसका कुछ नाम रखा है इन्होंने, मेगा कोरल ऐसे कुछ रखा. आई एम नॉट श्योर ऑन दैट. जॉब मिला होगा इसका मेगा कोरल है शायद, बट आई एम नॉट श्योर. डू चेक. जो नया वाला कोरल मिला. So here all the statements are correct. Option D, D for dog, will be the correct answer. Last year, 3 underwater geographical structures located in Indian Ocean have been named by International Hydrographic Organization (IHO) and UNESCO's Intergovernmental Oceanographic Organization (IOC) as proposed by India. By National Center for Polar and Oceanic Research (NCPOR) जो इंडिया का है, जो गोवा में है, that was conducting deep ocean mission. उसमें उनको नए 3 स्ट्रक्चर मिल गए. उनको मिले, उन्होंने नाम सजेस्ट कर दिए. पक्का ये नाम रख लो. So these 3 structures in Indian Ocean named by International Hydrographic Organization and Intergovernmental Commission of Oceanographic Commission, they have named it. Named are Ashoka Seamount, Chandragupta Ridge and Kalpatru Ridge. ये 3 नए नाम रखे गए. They were discovered by National Center for Polar and Ocean Research (NCPOR) Goa. They are located along the southwest Indian Ridge. Correct. इसके पहले there are 4 more structures which are having Indian names, and these are the structures: Raman Ridge, Panikkar Seamount, Sagar Kanya Ridge and DN Vaidya Buyout. So in Indian Ocean right now there are 7 structures which are named after, or which are named as per the name suggested by India. 3 over there, 4 over there. Clear on that? Yes. All statements hold true. Option D, D for dog, is the correct answer. Consider the following statements on International Hydrographic Organization. Same organization जिन्होंने नाम declare करे, उसके ऊपर statement है 4. Have a look at them. Intergovernmental Oceanographic Commission and IHO. IHO was established in 1921 and IOC in 1960. IHO का काम क्या है? IHO conducts surveys and charts out world seas, oceans, navigable waters, having its secretariat at Monaco. Monaco is a country in Europe. IOC promotes international cooperation in marine sciences and coordinates the UN Decade of Ocean Science 21 to 30, that is the Ocean Decade, having its headquarters at Paris. IOC का headquarters is in Paris. India is a member of IHO as well as IOC. All 4 statements are on IHO and IOC and they are correct. Are you getting that? All 4, option D, D for dog, is the correct answer. Atmospheric rivers. Atmospheric rivers remain in news quite often in relation to climate along the western coast of USA. Consider the following statements on that. What about atmospheric rivers? They are long narrow regions in atmosphere with high concentration of water vapor targeted from tropics to higher latitude. Correct है? Lower latitude से higher latitude. They cause almost 90% of movement of moisture from tropics to poles. Almost 20%. Maximum water ऐसे ही जाता है. Atmospheric rivers. Almost 90%. Correct. There can be many such rivers at any given time. बहुत सारी हो सकती. All three statements hold true for atmospheric rivers. Option C, C for cat is the correct. Consider the following statements on microburst. Microburst, heard that? What is that? Microburst नहीं सुना? Heard? These are strong winds. See, let me explain you about a microburst. Thunderstorm is taking place. Thunderstorm is affected by updraft and downdraft. So when downdraft is taking place, sometimes downdraft becomes excessively concentrated in a small region having a diameter of 1 to 3 kilometers. उस 1 से 3 किलोमीटर के diameter में excessive submergence of air, down movement of air take place, which is called as a microburst. On reaching the ground, that air diverges out in all direction, developing anticyclonic condition. It becomes very detrimental, very harmful during flight takeoff and landing. फ्लाइट का टेक ऑफ हो रहा है, विंड शेयर उसको पता है कि इतना होगा, उसके हिसाब से लैंडिंग और टेक ऑफ प्लान आउट होता है. उसी समय एकदम से माइक्रोबस आ गया. अगर माइक्रोबस आया तो फ्लाइट को संभालना नेक्स्ट टू इम्पॉसिबल. ऊपर वाला ही संभाल ले तो संभाल ले, फ्लाइट नहीं संभलेगी अगर माइक्रोबस आ गया, क्योंकि बहुत ही शॉर्ट लिव्ड होता है, 5 से 15 मिनट के लिए होता है और ट्रांसपेरेंट होता है. अगर इट इज इफ इट इज हैविंग ह्यूमिडिटी तो इट विल बी अकम्पनीड विद रेन, तो दिख जाएगा कि गोल 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 घूम रहा है, वरना सिर्फ हवा गोल गोल घूम रही है, कूड़ा भी नहीं, कुछ नहीं दिखेगा ही नहीं. तो एयर सीधे नीचे डिसेंड कर रही है, नोटिसेबल नहीं होता है, 5 to 15 मिनट्स के लिए होता है. इससे पहले कि any atmospheric radar could perceive that and give a warning, उससे पहले तो लैंडिंग और टेक ऑफ हो जाता है. बहुत सारे क्रैशेस जो रनवे पे होते हैं कि फ्लाइट लैंड पे एकदम स्लिप कर गई और ये हो गया. तो वन ऑफ द माइक्रोबस और मैक्रोबस इज रिलेटेड टू दैट. Microburst is small in size, macroburst is large in size, but microburst is more dangerous as compared to macroburst, क्योंकि macroburst का एरिया बड़ा होता है, speed of wind reduces. Focus over here. These are strong wind that descend from rain clouds and spread horizontally to the ground as a type of downdraft. They are compact, covering an area of 1 to 3 kilometers. They are short-lived, lasting 5 to 15 minutes. They may or may not be associated with thunderstorm. Thunderstorm होगा तो भी हो सकता है, बिना thunderstorm के भी microburst can take place. They are hazardous for aircraft landing and takeoff. Dry microburst remains almost invisible, whereas wet microburst is associated with a rain shaft. Right? All statements hold true. They are defining you that what is the phenomena of microburst. So option D, D for dog, is the correct answer. In the same manner, a question has been framed on macroburst. All things related to microburst are equally applicable on macroburst. The only thing is that it is almost similar to microburst but larger in size, generally more than 4 kilometers. The size is 1 to 3 kilometer microburst, more than 4 kilometer macroburst. In general, it is less powerful than a microburst in terms of wind speed. Are you getting that? So both are true. Option C, C for cat, is the correct answer. Consider the following statements. Again, ये 4 क्वेश्चन फैक्चुअल हैं थोड़े. You keep on hearing in news every day what is a heat wave. Heat wave declare है, heat wave होगा. Heat wave declare करने का exact IMD का जो classification है, this is on that. All the statements are true only. It is for your revision कि आप एक बार रिवाइज करके आपके दिमाग में कुछ रहे, जाने के पहले पढ़ लीजिएगा कि हीट वेव होता क्या. अगर हीट वेव के टेक्निकल डिटेल में यूपीएससी गया तो इट विल फ्रेम अ क्वेश्चन फ्रॉम हियर ओनली. आईएमडी ने यही डेफिनेशन दी. आईएमडी की वेबसाइट पे भी आप जाके चेक करेंगे, आपको यही 5 पॉइंट मिले. व्हाट इज अ हीट वेव. इसको समझ लीजिए, पढ़ने से हो सकता है पूरी तरह समझ में ना आए. मैक्सिमम टेम्परेचर हैज टू बी 40 डिग्री सेल्सियस और मोर फॉर प्लेन्स एंड 30 डिग्री सेल्सियस और मोर फॉर हिल्स. क्लियर है? प्लेनेटरी स्टेटमेंट है. If the temperature from the normal is between, it is departure from the normal. So the normal temperature, we are talking about heat wave. So we are talking about high temperature. अब high temperature normal दिल्ली का मान लीजिए आज की डेट पे होना चाहिए 41 डिग्री सेल्सियस. एज इट अ नॉर्मल एज पर लॉन्ग टर्म एवरेज, उससे डिपार्चर हो गया, कितना डिपार्चर हो गया, प्लस 4.5 to 6.4 हीट वेव, मोर देन 6.5 सीवियर हीट, आर यू गेटिंग दैट? If the maximum temperature actual temperature of any particular day is more than 45 degrees Celsius for plains, then it is heat wave. अगर 47 से ज्यादा हो गया तो हीट वेव। ये दोनों कंडीशन जरूरी नहीं है फिर, मतलब इन सब में और लगा है, पहली कंडीशन होगी तब हम कर सकते हैं, दूसरी कंडीशन होगी तब हम कर सकते हैं, तीसरी कंडीशन होगी तब हम कर सकते हैं। इफ दीज कंडीशंस आर met in any of the two separate readings of one meteorological location और 2 दिन तक ये होता रहा तो हीट वेव डिक्लेयर, आर यू गेटिंग दैट? हीट वेव डिक्लेयर होने के बाद गवर्नमेंट को उस पर जो जो प्रिकॉशंस लेने वो सब लेने पड़ेंगे, तो हीट वेव डिक्लेयर अगर हो जाएगी तो हीट वेव का डिक्लेरेशन इज क्लियर ऑन दैट, so all 5 hold clear on that, this is heat wave, so all 5. What can be, which of the following criteria are considered for a declaration? तो सारे हो जाएंगे all 5, ऑप्शन डी, a warm night by India Meteorological Department, IMD warm night कैसे डिक्लेयर करता है? For warm night it is declared when the maximum temperature remains 40 degree Celsius or more, रात का टेम्परेचर 40 डिग्री सेल्सियस ज्यादा है, and departure of actual minimum temperature, मिनिमम टेम्परेचर रात का रिकॉर्ड होना था 31 डिग्री सेल्सियस या 32 डिग्री सेल्सियस, 32 से 4.5 से 6.4 ज्यादा रिकॉर्ड हुआ वार्म नाइट, या 6.5 से भी ज्यादा हुआ वेरी वार्म नाइट, रिपीटिंग दैट, दिस इज द क्लासिफिकेशन फॉर वार्म नाइट, सो बोथ 1 and 2 ऑप्शन सी, सी फॉर कैट इज द करेक्ट आंसर। यस, कौन सा वाला? नहीं, ये दोनों जगह चलेगा, लेकिन हिल्स पे इतना टेम्परेचर होता नहीं, राइट? तो हिल्स पे वार्म नाइट वो डिक्लेयर करेंगे भी नहीं, हिल्स पे नाइट जनरली कोल्ड ही रहती है। वार्म नाइट इज अ फिनोमेना दैट इज जनरली डिक्लेयर्ड ऑन हिल्स ओनली, oh sorry, plains only. Go through this question, this is a buffer question, बफर क्वेश्चन इसलिए क्योंकि इसके बाद कोल्ड वेव आ जाएगा, तो मैंने बीच में एक दूसरे पैटर्न में क्वेश्चन डाल दिया कि थोड़ा सा दिमाग इधर हो जाए, फिर हीट वेव के बाद कोल्ड वेव समझ लो। बायोस्फीयर रिजर्व इज व्हाट? इट इज अ हार्मोनाइज्ड मैनेजमेंट ऑफ बायोलॉजिकल एंड कल्चरल डाइवर्सिटी, वर्ल्ड हेरिटेज साइट, promote the conservation of natural and cultural sites of outstanding universal value, global geoparks give international recognition for sites that promote the importance and significance of protecting the earth's geodiversity through actively engaging with the local community. किसी भी एक एरिया में कोई स्पेसिफिक जियोलॉजिकल एक्टिविटी है उसको हाईलाइट करके जियो पार्क डिक्लेयर कर देते हैं, इंडिया में कोई नहीं, इंडिया इज नॉट हैविंग एनी जियो पार्क, so all 3 are correct, option C. Now as heat wave is declared in the same manner, cold wave is declared by IMD, and have a look at the description of cold wave. For plains it has to be 10 degrees Celsius or less, for hills less than 0 degrees Celsius. Departure जो मैक्सिमम टेम्परेचर का है वो -4.5 से -6.5 इतना कम होना चाहिए, राइट? तो कोल्ड वेव, इफ द डिपार्चर इज मोर देन 6.5 इट इज सीवियर कोल्ड वेव। ये माइनस का मतलब ये माइनस में टेम्परेचर सब जीरो नहीं जा रहा है, नॉर्मल टेम्परेचर से इतना कम होगा, आर यू गेटिंग दैट? If the actual maximum temperature only for plain, now this is only applicable for plains, less than 4 degrees Celsius cold wave, less than 2 degrees Celsius severe cold wave. Same condition, एक meteorological location में 2 अलग अलग जगह रीडिंग्स मिल जाए, 2 दिन तक मिल जाए, डिक्लेयर कर देंगे। कोस्टल रीजन में मिनिमम टेम्परेचर -4.5 डिग्री सेल्सियस और लेस फ्रॉम नॉर्मल, इट विल बी डिक्लेयर्ड एज अ, for coastal regions the minimum temperature departure is -4.5 degrees Celsius or less from normal, and the actual minimum temperature is less than 15 degrees Celsius, then it is cold wave. कोस्टल एरिया के लिए ये है, मेन एरिया के लिए, राइट? और ये कंफ्यूजिंग है, लेकिन अगर यूपीएससी इस डिटेल में गया, उसने पूछा हीट वेव और कोल्ड वेव, तो यही डेफिनेशन है, यही आपको लिखना याद करना पड़ेगा। इसको अगर आप याद कर लेंगे और कहीं आप मेंस के आंसर राइटिंग में कहीं डाला है नंबर मिलेगा, कुछ ना कुछ एक्स्ट्रा मिलेगा इसका, 100% मिलेगा। और कहीं डब्बा वब्बा बना के डाल दिया तो और मिल जाएगा। तो ऑल 5 ऑप्शन डी फॉर डॉग इज करेक्ट। Which of the following criteria, like warm night, it is a cold day. Warm night का declaration होता है, cold day का declaration होता है. It is declared when the minimum temperature is less than 10 degrees Celsius for plain and less than 0 degree for hills. And second category, actual maximum temperature से departure -4 to -6.5, cold day. -6.5 से ज़्यादा departure हो गया तो severe cold. Both are correct. Option C, C for cat is the correct answer. Consider the following statements on heat dome effect. Heat dome I already explained you while I was explaining you that topic. What is basically a heat dome? This is the surface of Earth, right? Air is present over there, temperature is high. It is having high temperature. Due to high temperature, convection should take place and air should move up. So this air should move up. This air is trying to move up, but here we are having subsiding air. ऊपर से air subside कर रही. Why this air is subsiding? It may be due to a trough of the jet stream. Jet stream यहाँ पर नीचे आ रही, so it is creating anticyclonic conditions, right? Planetary boundary layer height जो हम पढ़ रहे थे, वो भी phenomena यहाँ पर आ जाएगा. So this heat, high temperature gets trapped over here like a dome, and this is called as a heat dome, right? Same is the phenomena that is related to pollution dome. Pollution trap हो गया, dome सा बन गया, pollution escape नहीं कर पा रहा, that is pollution dome. Are you getting that? So this heat dome और pollution dome के ऊपर this question has been framed. It is related to high pressure system, that is anticyclonic conditions which trap warm air like a lid. ऊपर से lid cap की तरह रोक देता है, correct? It may persist over a region from a short period to weeks. They may increase the severity of heat waves, and heat waves may promote the formation of heat dome. Both are correct. Yes. Cloudless sky and jet streams are related to the phenomena of heat dome. क्लाउडलेस स्काई होगा, जब हीट डोम होगा कन्वेक्शन हो ही नहीं रहा, क्लाउड कहाँ से आएगा, राइट? ठीक हो ना? ऑल फोर स्टेटमेंट्स होल्ड ट्रू. So option D for dog is the correct answer. Which airport of India is said to be named as Dr. Bhupen Hazarika Airport? मतलब क्या जो आंसर इसी में है ना, ये मुझको पता है क्योंकि 10 साल पहले मैं भी तैयारी कर रहा था, 12 साल पहले, कि बच्चा कहाँ जाके अटकता है. बच्चा यहीं जाके अटकता है कि है तो नॉर्थ ईस्ट में, है तो असम में, अब बताएं कहाँ है. Dibrugarh airport, that is Monabari airport, that has been renamed as Dr. Bhupen Hazarika airport. ऑप्शन सी डिब्रूगढ़. कोई बात नहीं, अच्छी बात है, इतना तो याद है ना कि कहीं कुछ है. यूपीएससी का पेपर देखने के बाद, अगर 100 क्वेश्चन पढ़ने के बाद अगर 40 पे आपको फीलिंग आ जाए कि हमने कहीं सुना है, पढ़ा है, देखा है, हो गया फिर सिलेक्शन. 40 पे फीलिंग तो आए कि हाँ हम कर लेंगे. आंसर इज सी, डिब्रूगढ़. Next question. Recently, a MOU was signed between Madhya Pradesh and Maharashtra to jointly implement the Tapti Basin Mega Recharge Project. Consider the following statements on that. बहुत recently अभी साइन हुआ, अप्रैल में ही साइन हुआ. Tapti river originates in Madhya Pradesh and it is known as Tapi in Maharashtra. Origin Betul Plateau, Maharashtra. In Madhya Pradesh. In Maharashtra, the same is known as Tapi. It flows south of Satpura through a rift valley. North of Satpura is Narmada. South of Satpura is Tapi, rift valley है, ठीक है. Its catchment area lies in MP, Maharashtra and Gujarat. Correct. The project shall cater to the drinking water and agriculture needs. ड्रिंकिंग वाटर एंड एग्रीकल्चरल नीड्स दोनों के लिए, ठीक है. बेसिकली ड्रिंकिंग वाटर ज़्यादा है, पानी वहाँ से लेके आ रहे हैं नागपुर तक, वहाँ पर सब जगह पानी देंगे, राइट. तो All three, nahi, all four are correct. Option D, D for dog, is the correct answer. Next is olivine. Now we are starting with that section in which the questions are from other exams conducted by UPSC. बीच में एक आध तो करंट अफेयर आ जाएगा, बट दिस इज अ फ्रॉम अदर एग्जाम्स व्हिच आर कंडक्टेड बाय यूपीएससी इन लास्ट 4 or 5 months. जो भी यूपीएससी ने इस तरह के एग्जाम कराए हैं जिसमें एमसीक्यू है, जीएस का पेपर है, उसमें से मैंने कुछ क्वेश्चंस, कुछ टॉपिक्स लेके उसके ऊपर क्वेश्चन फ्रेम करे, कुछ एज इट इज है, कुछ थोड़ा सा चेंज करके. Have a look. Olivine is one of the primary minerals of Earth's upper mantle. Verify the following statements in relation to olivine. All the four statements are directly from NCERT chapter on rock and minerals. नई वाली NCERT में वो चैप्टर शायद नहीं है, तो 2006 वाली NCERT है उसमें है चैप्टर ऑन रॉक, आपको ऑनलाइन मिल जाएगी, आप उसको देख लीजिएगा, चेक कर लीजिएगा. इट इज यूजली अ ग्रीनिश क्रिस्टल. yes, it is often found in basaltic rocks. correct. Magnesium, iron and silica are the major elements. This is also correct. It is used in jewelry. Olivine is the major constituent of mantle. mantle में सबसे ज़्यादा olivine ही है, that is olivine rock. And all the four statements hold true, they go with olivine. So all four, option D, D for dog, is the correct answer. Clear on that? In doubt? Which of the following statement with respect to salt weathering is a correct? Salt weathering, salt crystallization. Salt crystallization is the most effective of all salt weathering process. What is salt crystallization? रॉक्स के अंदर सॉल्ट के क्रिस्टल की ग्रोथ होती जाती, बाकी चीजें रिमूव होती जाती, सॉल्ट क्रिस्टलाइजेशन. इट इज द मोस्ट इफेक्टिव ऑफ ऑल सॉल्ट वेदरिंग प्रोसेस. यस, मैक्सिमम यही होता है, सबसे ज्यादा यही होता है, एंड इससे सबसे ज्यादा डिसइंटीग्रेशन होता है, वेदरिंग होती है. सॉल्ट क्रिस्टल ग्रोथ इज मोर इफेक्टिव ओवर सेडिमेंट्री रॉक एज कंपेयर टू इग्नियस रॉक. यस, बिकॉज इट इज पोरस, अंदर तक पानी चला जाता है. वेट और ड्राई, ऑल्टरनेट वेट ड्राई हमें चाहिए क्रिस्टलाइजेशन के लिए. इसमें इग्नियस आर लेस पोरस. Is correct. Salt crystal growth is more effective with alternating wetting and drying conditions. Yes. In salt crystallization, chalk breaks down more readily. Now this is the order given. As the porosity reduces, the ease with which it will break down reduces. The more porous will break down more easily as compared to less porous. So chalk is more porous, followed by limestone, then it is sandstone, then shale, then gneiss, then granite. This is in order. All statements 1, 2, 3, 4 hold correct. So option D, D for dog, all four will be the correct answer to this answer. Clear on that? As per USDA soil taxonomy, ICAR has classified the Indian soil. Just consider the following statements on that. Now, on this topic, UPSC has not framed any of the questions as of now, up till now, abhi tak nahi banaya, right? And this classification is not given in your NCERT books, but name of 7 from these 12 is given in NCERT class 11th India Physical chapter on soils. A chart is given जिसमें USDA का soil taxonomy को ICAR ने कैसे मिक्स करके इंडियन soils के बारे में बताया, उसमें उन्होंने एक चार्ट दिया है जिसमें उन्होंने सिर्फ एवरी soil का कितना परसेंटेज है, किसके soil का कितना परसेंटेज है, उसमें वो चार्ट में दिया हुआ है, राइट. उसमें 7 soils are mentioned, but the remaining as per USDA taxonomy जो भी classification है soil का, this is this classification. कोई भी नई तरीके इसको आप समझ लीजिए, मैं समझा दे रहा हूँ, लिखा हुआ है वो तो आपके पास सही हैंड आउट. इंसेप्टिसोल्स, एनी न्यू सॉइल विच इज फॉर्म्ड ओवर अ पीरियड ऑफ टाइम, उसको हम इंसेप्टिसोल कहते हैं. एंटीसोल्स रिसेंटली फॉर्म्ड सॉइल है. दोनों में डिफरेंस ये है, एंटीसोल्स में होराइजन्स ऑफ सॉइल मिसिंग, इंसेप्टिसोल्स में होराइजन्स ऑफ सॉइल एग्जिस्ट करते हैं. याद है OABECD हम लोगों ने पढ़ा था, राइट? पढ़ा होगा आप लोगों ने, फाउंडेशन में पढ़ा है, हम लोगों ने PMP में पढ़ा है, कहीं तो पढ़ाई है. So that is missing in एंटीसोल. इंसेप्टिसोल में एल्फीसोल में AL for एल्युमिनियम, F for आयरन. एल्युमिनियम आयरन का कंसंट्रेशन बढ़ जाएगा. वर्टिसोल्स में क्रैक बन जाता है, क्रैक के अंदर एरेशन होता है, राइट, दैट इज वर्टिसोल, क्ले कंपोनेंट इसमें बढ़ जाएगा। एरिडिसोल्स एरिड ड्राई सॉइल हो गई। अल्टीसोल्स, देखिए यूएस का क्लासिफिकेशन है, आपको नाम में ही सब कुछ मिल जाएगा, यहाँ पर नहीं कि ऑल इंडिया का बेस्ट म्यूजिक का अवार्ड उसको मिलेगा जो गाना आपने कभी सुना ही नहीं होगा। दे गो फॉर पॉप म्यूजिक, पॉपुलर, जिसको पब्लिक पसंद कर रही है उसको अवार्ड दो, उसको क्यों अवार्ड दे रहे हो जिसको कोई सुन ही नहीं रहा, लेकिन उसको अवार्ड मिलता है। यहाँ देखिए आपको नाम में सब कुछ लिखा मिलेगा। एंडी एरिडिसोल्स एरिड सॉइल हो गई। अल्टीसोल्स, अल्टी का मतलब अल्टीमेट, जितना मिनरल न्यूट्रिएंट था सबका डिकम्पोजिशन हो गया, कुछ बचा नहीं है सॉइल, अल्टीसोल्स। मॉलीसोल्स सॉफ्ट, गोलू मोलू सा सॉफ्ट होता है मॉलीसोल। एंडीसोल्स, एंडीसोल्स एंडीज माउंटेन में मिली थी इसलिए इनका नाम एंडीसोल है, एंडीज इज वोल्केनिक, तो वोल्केनिक कंटेंट यहाँ पर मिलता है। जेलीसोल्स परमाफ्रॉस्ट, जेल का फॉर्मेशन परमाफ्रॉस्ट एसिडिक प्रॉपर्टीज होती हैं, उसके नीचे जो सॉइल मिलती है दैट इज जेलीसोल। हिस्टोसोल्स, दे आर हैविंग ह्यूज ऑर्गेनिक, हिस्टोसोल ऑर्गेनिक मैटर ह्यूमस कंटेंट बहुत ज्यादा हो जाएगा हिस्टोसोल्स। ऑक्सी, ऑक्सीजन कंटेंट बढ़ जाएगा, ऑक्साइड्स के फॉर्म में रॉक बहुत ज्यादा है, ऑक्सीसोल्स। स्पोडोसोल्स एशिसोल, these 12 are there. In our NCERT, they have mentioned inceptisol, they have mentioned antisol, elfisol, vertisol, eridisol, इतना ही है। कौन सा है? ऑक्सीसोल एनसीईआरटी में नहीं है। ऑक्सीसोल्स है, मॉलीसोल्स है, अदर्स लिखा है ना। This is the entire classification. US taxonomy का जो classification, it is having these 12 soils. 7 are mentioned in NCERT. Go through that. इनको एक बार दो बार और रीड करिएगा, इसको याद नहीं करना है, इसका जो टर्म है उससे रिलेट करिएगा डिस्क्रिप्शन को, अपने आप दिमाग में बैठ जाएगा, एक बार बैठ जाएगा हमेशा के लिए बैठ जाएगा, राइट। ऑल आर करेक्ट, सो ऑप्शन डी, डी फॉर डॉग, इज द करेक्ट आंसर। यूपीएससी ने इसमें पूछा है, सीडीएस में पूछा, इसी साल पूछा, अभी अप्रैल में जो पेपर आया उसमें पूछा, तो आपको सीडीएस वालों से तो ज्यादा ही काबिल समझता होगा। Lake Tanganyika was in news in relation to massive floods along the eastern region of Democratic Republic of Congo. Democratic Republic of Congo, Hutu Tutsi revolt जो चल रहा है वहाँ, ट्राइबल रिवोल्ट, रवांडा फोर्सेस वहाँ पर डेमोक्रेटिक रिपब्लिक ऑफ कॉन्गो के ईस्टर्न पार्ट को, कीवू को, सबको उन्होंने कैप्चर कर लिया। रिमेंड इन न्यूज, फ्रांस और यूनाइटेड नेशन सब बैठ के मीडिएट करा रहे हैं, यूएन सिक्योरिटी काउंसिल की मीटिंग हो रही है, सब कुछ हो रहा है रीजन न्यूज में, साथ में टंगानिका में फ्लड भी आ गया है, तो क्वेश्चन बनने की प्रोबेबिलिटी बढ़ जा रही है। तो फोकस ओवर देयर। लेक टंगानिका इज अ रिफ्ट वैली लेक। टंगानिका लेक बॉर्डर बनाती है डीआरसी का और तंजानिया का, उसके थोड़ा सा नॉर्थ में जाएंगे, इट मेक्स द बॉर्डर ऑफ डीआरसी विद बुरुंडी आल्सो। आर यू गेटिंग दैट? इसके नॉर्थ में यू विल फाइंड लेक कीवू, एडवर्ड, एल्बर्ट, साउथ ईस्ट में लेक मलावी या न्यासा मिलेगा, राइट। दीज आर द स्टेटमेंट्स रिटन ओवर देयर, ऑल स्टेटमेंट्स होल्ड ट्रू। लेक टंगानिका इज अ रिफ्ट वैली लेक, करेक्ट। Lake Tanganyika makes the border of DRC with Tanzania, makes the border of DRC with Burundi. Lake Kivu, Edward, Albert are located towards the north from Lake Tanganyika, and Malawi or Nyasa is located on the southeastern, right? All statements hold true, so option D, D for dog, is the correct answer. Recently, Rajori, Pooch, Baramulla, Kupwara remained in news during India's attack against terrorism. Operation Sindoor में सब था. Consider the following statements on that. Just the look, हाँ, मतलब ये पहली बार न्यूज में आए। तो 22 अप्रैल को पहलगाम अटैक हो गया, राइट। और आइडियली टेक्निकली जो कमीशन बोलता है वो बोलता है कि हम 1 महीना पहले पेपर बना देते हैं, और भारत का कोई सरकारी विभाग टाइम पे काम नहीं करता। यूपीएससी कैसे 25 अप्रैल को पेपर बना दिया होगा? करता है कोई काम टाइम पे? तो वो क्यों टाइम पे काम करेगा? उनके लिए नॉर्मल है, उनकी नौकरी है, उनको तनख्वाह मिलनी है उसकी, उनको क्या मतलब कि आपकी जिंदगी चली जाएगी। वो तो उनको पेपर सेट करना उनका काम है, हर साल का काम है, और साल भर वो पेपर कराता रहता है बेचारा यूपीएससी। उनका जो इंटरव्यू बोर्ड है, आप इतना तैयार होकर सर धस के जाते हो कि हम इंटरव्यू देंगे, वो क्या सोचते हो कि आपको देखने के लिए बैठा है, आ गए एक और आओ, और पूरा जीवन उनका इंटरव्यू लेटर भी तरह उनको जैसे कई सिविल सर्विसेज एग्जामिनेशन थोड़ा सीरियस रहते हैं वो लोग, तो कुछ अच्छे से इंटरव्यू कंडक्ट कर लेते हैं। चलिए भाई, राजौरी, पूंछ, बारामूला, कुपवारा इज द करेक्ट सीक्वेंस आउट टू नॉर्थ, करेक्ट और नॉट? सही है। साउथ में आप शुरू करेंगे राजौरी, थोड़ा सा नॉर्थ वेस्ट में जाएंगे, आप जाएंगे पूंछ, पूंछ से वापस आप नॉर्थ ईस्ट में आएंगे बारामूला, बारामूला के नॉर्थ ईस्ट में थोड़ा सा जाएंगे कुपवारा, तो साउथ टू नॉर्थ यही ऑर्डर। Amongst them, Baramulla is closest to line of control. Huh? Baramulla is closest to line of control. LOC के सबसे नजदीक इन चारों में बारामूला है, that is closest, right? Poonch is most affected, but closest is Baramulla. Rajouri, Poonch, Baramulla located on Pir Panjal range. Kupwara is between Pir Panjal and Greater Himalayas. Correct. Baramulla is located on River Jhelum. All statements are absolutely correct. So all five, option D, D for dog is the correct answer. Recently, an infractescence of about 4.2 meters, longest in the world, has been recorded in a species of wild banana from Andaman and Nicobar Island. Consider the following statements on that. पढ़ा था ये? Yes. It is recorded in an endemic species of wild banana, Musa in Andamanensis. यही है? The species was first recorded on Little Andaman, but this ये वाला जो मिला है 4.2 meters, that was recorded in Campbell Bay on Nicobar Islands. That is correct. And it has been given by the research over there that the trees with longer infractescence are generally larger in their girth. जिनकी चौड़ाई ज़्यादा है, उनका जो infractescence है, जो उसका वो पूरा चरखा होता है, that is longer. Is correct. The species has been assessed as critically endangered और ex situ preservation इसका इन्होंने शुरू कर दिया. All four statements hold true with this particular species. So all four, option D, D for dog, is the correct answer. Recently, sample registration survey SRS report for 2021 was released. Why this report becomes important? Because census हुआ नहीं, तो SRS report जो release हुई है उसको एक बार देख लीजिए, 2021 की report है. It is released by the Registrar General of India. Consider the following statements as per the report. TFR of India is 2.0 and it has remained unchanged since 2020. Replacement level के लिए TFR कितना चाहिए? 2.1. So मतलब हमारी population जा रही है. Bihar reported the highest TFR 3.0 and Delhi and West Bengal the lowest as 1.4. Right? Percentage of population in the age group 0 to 14 has declined, 15 to 59 has increased. Are you getting that? So young adolescents, they are reducing number. Percentage of population has increased for 65 plus and 60 plus, more for 60 plus age group. 60 plus age group India की population बढ़ गई. Kerala has the highest percentage in 60 plus age group, followed by Tamil Nadu and Himachal. Bihar, Assam and Delhi has the lowest percentage in 60 plus age group. The mean age for marriage for females has increased from 19.3 to 22. All statements hold true, that is as per the SRS survey. All 7 statements hold true, so option D, D for dog, is the correct answer. Consider the following statement with reference to different waves generated during an earthquake. S waves create trough and crest in the material through which they pass. P waves create density differential in the material, leading to stretching and squeezing of the material. Both the statement hold true. Option C, C for cat, is the correct answer. What is the correct sequence of falling salts in descending order according to their presence in sea water? They are written in descending order only. Again directly from NCERT, Fundamentals of Physical Geography, chapter on water in oceans. इसमें आपको चार्ट ऐसा कैसा मिल जाए, राइट. एंड यूपीएससी विल फ्रेम अ क्वेश्चन, जैसे कि यूपीएससी, ये मैंने क्यों दिया यहाँ पे, यूपीएससी हैज फ्रेम्ड अ क्वेश्चन इन जियो साइंटिस्ट एग्जामिनेशन, जनरल स्टडीज पेपर, राइट. जियो साइंटिस्ट जियो हाइड्रोलॉजी का जो पेपर होता है उसके दो पेपर होते हैं, पेपर 1 पेपर 2. पेपर 1 इज ऑफ जीएस, पेपर 2 इज ऑफ स्पेसिफिक जियो हाइड्रोलॉजी. पेपर 1 का जो जीएस का पेपर है उसमें उन्होंने जो क्वेश्चन पूछा है उसमें उन्होंने कैसे इसको कंबाइन किया, कैसे लिया, वो देखिए आप. उन्होंने एक सॉल्ट बनाया कैल्शियम सल्फेट, दूसरा बनाया कैल्शियम कार्बोनेट. मुझे एक्जैक्टली याद नहीं है, मैं कॉन्सेप्ट आपको बताने की कोशिश कर रहा हूँ. आई एम जस्ट टेलिंग यू द कॉन्सेप्ट, आई कैन नॉट रिकॉल द एग्जैक्ट क्वेश्चन. कैल्शियम सल्फेट और कैल्शियम कार्बोनेट बनाया, तो विच विल बी मोर, कैल्शियम सल्फेट विल बी मोर देन कैल्शियम कार्बोनेट. इस कॉन्सेप्ट को यूज करके यू हैव टू आंसर अ क्वेश्चन if UPSC asks the chronology of the salts present in oceanic water. सोडियम क्लोराइड अपने आप सबसे ज्यादा हो जाएगा, NaCl. आर यू गेटिंग दैट? सोडियम कार्बोनेट उससे कम हो जाएगा. बात समझ में आ रही है? तो दिस इज द ऑर्डर एंड दिस इज गिवन इन क्लास 11th फंडामेंटल्स ऑफ फिजिकल ज्योग्राफी एनसीईआरटी में. एक चार्ट बना उसमें यही सॉल्ट है और ये ऑर्डर ही है, मैक्सिमम टू मिनिमम. सिंपली गो थ्रू दैट. अगर आप इसको किसी वेबसाइट पे जाके देखेंगे तो कहीं कोई माइनर फ्लक्चुएशन मिल जाएगा, एक आध ऊपर नीचे चला जाएगा, बाकी कुछ नहीं होता. जो एनसीईआरटी में दिया उसको याद कर लीजिए, उससे आपका काम यूपीएससी में चल जाए. ठीक. So it is 1 to 10, option A for apple, that are given in descending order only. Which of the following statement with respect to humus is correct? Humus, we keep on hearing humus is good, humus is required for fertility of the soil. So go through the statement. It is a dark colored amorphous substance. Amorphous होता है क्या? It is colloidal in nature and hence retains nutrients and water. Both are true. It is amorphous, dark color, colloidal in nature, retains water. Humus की वजह से water retention capacity बढ़ जाती है, right? So both statement hold true. So option C, C for cat, is the correct answer. Clear on that? अरे वो कोलाइडल का मतलब वो नहीं है, इट इज कोलाइडल इन नेचर. वो अपने अंदर वाटर रिटेन करने, उसके अंदर पोर्स होते हैं, स्पेसेस होते हैं, तो रिटेन कर लेता पानी को, पानी रोक लेता. आप कभी किसी वेटलैंड में गए? किसी वेटलैंड में खूब सारी पत्तियां पड़ी हुई, इमेजिन करो खूब सारी लीफ पड़ी है, लिटर, लीफ लिटर हो गया पड़ा हुआ, उसके ऊपर धूल उड़ के आई, थोड़ी सी मिट्टी बढ़ गई, पानी बरस गया, वो पड़ा रहा इसी तरह 4-5 दिन, 10 दिन, 20 दिन, 1 महीना, 2 महीना पड़ा रहा. That develops a composition that is called as peat. उसी का modified form है humus, right? Verify the following statements in relation to the characteristics of cumulus clouds. They look like cotton wool and fluffy on their top. They are generally formed at a height of 4 to 7 kilometers. They have flat base and exist in patches. All lines from NCERT class 11th NCERT से direct line है. All three hold true. Option C, C for cat, is the correct answer. Identify the type of climate on the basis of the following characteristics relating to it to. UPSC has asked the question last time कि उससे पहले पूछा, last time पूछा. Temperature is high throughout the year. Rainfall is variable with short wet season and longer dry season. The annual ranges of temperature are greatest in the dry season. UPSC ने ये क्वेश्चन पूछा है अभी, किसी एक पेपर में पूछा, आई एम मिसिंग, CDS में पूछा है कि NDA में पूछा है कि किसमें पूछा है, और UPSC ने उसमें एक स्टेटमेंट और दिया था जिससे आंसर तुरंत मिल जाता. मैंने वो स्टेटमेंट उड़ा दिया. सिविल सर्विसेज में पूछेगा तो इतना आसान तो UPSC नहीं करेगा. स्टेटमेंट नंबर 4 उस क्वेश्चन का मैंने हटा दिया, उसमें सीधे सीधे लिखा होता है, इसमें आप तुरंत आंसर बता देते. आंसर है ट्रॉपिकल वेट एंड ड्राई, और जो स्टेटमेंट है उसमें लिखा था कि दिस क्लाइमेट इज फाउंड इन सूडान रीजन. तो सूडान टाइप, सवाना टाइप कुछ भी आपको मिल जाता, आप तुरंत बता देते. ठीक है, तो इसलिए मैंने वो स्टेटमेंट हटा दिया. इवन इससे आंसर निकल आएगा, इट इज ट्रॉपिकल वेट एंड ड्राई, ऑप्शन ए, दैट इज सूडान टाइप और सवाना टाइप ऑफ क्लाइमेट. सूडान टाइप स्पेसिफिक आएगा उसका, सूडान टाइप ऑफ क्लाइमेट. व्हिच ऑफ द फॉलोइंग स्टेटमेंट इज नॉट करेक्ट? Water at 0 degree Celsius will have more energy than that of ice at 0 degree Celsius. Yes? नहीं? आइस 0 डिग्री सेल्सियस में कुछ एनर्जी गेन करेगा तभी तो मेल्ट करके पानी बनाएगा, तो पानी में ज़्यादा एनर्जी होगी ना. तो वाटर एट 0 डिग्री सेल्सियस विल हैव मोर एनर्जी एज कंपेयर टू आइस एट 0 डिग्री सेल्सियस. करेक्ट. टेम्परेचर ऑफ आइस रिमेन्स कांस्टेंट एज लॉन्ग एज इट इज मेल्टिंग और एज लॉन्ग एज द मेल्टिंग इज नॉट कंप्लीट. यस, जब तक मेल्ट होती रहेगी द एनर्जी विल बी यूज्ड इन चेंजिंग द स्टेट ऑफ मैटर. करेक्ट. Water vapor at 100 degree Celsius will have more energy than that of water at 100 degree Celsius. Water steam के पास ज़्यादा एनर्जी होगी 100%. Temperature of water varies during the process of vaporization. Latent heat of vaporization is only used to change the state of matter. Temperature remains same, so no change. So option D is incorrect, and that is the answer to this particular question. Option D, D for dog. Exfoliation in rocks can occur due to forces induced by carbonation, की oxidation, की temperature change, की all three. यूपीएससी में गलती मत करना कि शुरू के 4 क्वेश्चन में डी आ गया तो सब डी होगा. Carbonation and oxidation can assist in exfoliation, but they are not the direct reason or the cause for exfoliation to take place. Exfoliation is simply removal of the top layer by thermal expansion and contraction. So that is only induced by temperature change. ऐसे exfoliation dome बनेगा या exfoliation torus बनेगा. That is only by expansion या फिर unloading होगा. ऊपर से unloading हो सकता है, ऊपर का मटेरियल एक लेयर हट गया, लोड कम हो गया, प्रेशर कम हो गया, इसलिए एक्सपेंशन हो गया. लेकिन कार्बोनेशन और ऑक्सीडेशन की वजह से एक्सफोलिएशन नहीं होता. एक्सफोलिएशन हियर विल बी रिलेटेड ओनली टू टेम्परेचर चेंज. ओनली वन ऑप्शन ए फॉर एप्पल विल बी द करेक्ट आंसर. आर यू गेटिंग दैट? Which one of the following is related with the term NEF analysis? NEF analysis क्या होता है? Any idea? Heard this term? It is related to cloud. Cloud seeding में इसको यूज करते हैं. Cloud का कितना concentration है? What is the level of moisture? What is relative humidity? How much convection is taking place? What is the cloud concentration? Cloud यहाँ है कि वहाँ है, move करेगा, इधर जाएगा, उधर जाएगा. Everything is covered in NEF analysis. So it is related to cloud analysis. Option B for boy is the correct answer. The ability of corals to make their skeletons primarily depends on which one of the following factors? Attempt this question. Primarily depends. ऐसे तो सब पे थोड़ा थोड़ा डिपेंड करेगा. Major factor. It will be pH. pH value, whether the water is turning acidic or what is the level of alkalinity in the water level, that will decide the capacity of the coral to make skeletons. If the pH will change, the capacity of the coral to extract calcium from the oceanic water will be altered, right? So the most suiting answer is pH. ऐसे तो सबका कुछ ना कुछ फर्क पड़ेगा, right? pH, direct pH. Option B for boy. The global temperature and carbon dioxide concentration for the last 8 lakh years were deduced mainly from which one of the following? पिछले 8 लाख साल में कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड का concentration जो रहा है, that is deduced from which one of the following? Fossil fuel, tree annual rings, ice coring in tropical mountain peaks, ice coring in Antarctic plateau. The global temperature and carbon dioxide concentration for the last 8 lakh years were deduced mainly from which one of the following? Ice coring from Antarctic plateau. It is possible by tree annual ring also, by tropical ice also, बट मैक्सिमम विल बी बाय अंटार्कटिक प्लेटू, क्योंकि आइस की डेप्थ उतनी मिल जाती है कि हम उतना पहले तक जा सके। ट्रॉपिकल माउंटेन्स में हमें आइस की उतनी डेप्थ मिलेगी नहीं मिलेगी, वी आर नॉट श्योर ऑन दैट। थोड़े समय तक का तो हो जाएगा, 100% नहीं हो पाएगा। आर यू गेटिंग दैट? यस। So option D, D for dog, is the correct answer. Which of the following statements about Kaveri meets Ganga program is correct? Kaveri meets Ganga. It was a cultural event held under Amrit Parampara series. It is a river water linking program under Ministry of Jal Shakti, Government of India. What is that? Kaveri meets Ganga is what? Cultural event है. It is a Ministry of ये अमृत परंपरा सीरीज जो शुरू हुई थी, इसका पहला कल्चरल इवेंट यहीं दिल्ली में ऑर्गेनाइज हुआ था, कावेरी मीट्स गंगा, एंड इट वाज अ कल्चरल event between north and south, right? River linking से इसका कोई मतलब नहीं, so only one only option A for apple is the correct answer. हाँ, मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ कल्चर होगा, we need to check, मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ कल्चर होगा। अमृत परंपरा किस कल्चर मिनिस्ट्री में भी नहीं, आई नीड टू चेक, आई विल चेक आफ्टर द 2 questions more, right? Athirapalli hydroelectric project of Kerala was in limelight again as the government of Kerala started to analyze the tourism aspect of the project. एक प्रोजेक्ट इन्होंने कंसीव किया कि हम ये प्रोजेक्ट बनाएंगे, उस प्रोजेक्ट पे रिवोल्ट हुआ, खूब सारी बातें हुई, कोर्ट में गए, केस चल रहा था, सब कुछ हो रहा था। केरला का जो बोर्ड है उसने क्या कहा, उसने कहा कि अब हम एक काम करते हैं, हम यहाँ टूरिज्म को डेवलप करेंगे, मतलब प्रोजेक्ट का रिवोल्ट ना हो, तो उसने कह रही है कि हम टूरिज्म डेवलप करेंगे और साथ में प्रोजेक्ट भी हो जाएगा, तो उसमें फिर रिवोल्ट शुरू हो गया। तो ये अभी खूब न्यूज में रहा केरला में। टेक द स्टेटमेंट्स ऑन दैट। इट इज प्रपोज्ड ऑन द वेस्ट फ्लोइंग चालाकुडी रिवर ऑफ केरला इन थ्रिसूर डिस्ट्रिक्ट। द रीजन इज डोमिनेटेड बाय कदार ट्राइब। कदार ट्राइब के ऊपर यूपीएससी ने क्वेश्चन बनाया है। ये जो वजाचल वाटरफॉल देख रहे हैं, UPSC has framed a question on Vajachal forest and it has asked which tribe dominates Vajachal forest range। और अभी पूछा 2025 में यूपीएससी ने, किसी इन्हीं जो एग्जाम्स के मैंने नाम लिए किसी एक पेपर में था क्वेश्चन। तो यूपीएससी हैज आस्क्ड दैट वजाचल फॉरेस्ट और वहाँ की ट्राइब का डोमिनेंस पूछा है, तो ट्राइब इज कदार ट्राइब। और इसके ऊपर क्योंकि आर्टिकल्स और भी आए, हिंदू न्यूज़पेपर में भी लगातार आर्टिकल्स आए, 3-4 आर्टिकल, जनवरी से अब तक ये 3 आर्टिकल आ चुके हैं मेरे ख्याल से, आई एम नॉट श्योर 100% कि 3 आए कि 2 आए, लेकिन आए। तो इट इज ऑन दैट, so it is on Chalakudi river, Thrissur district, Kerala, correct. It is dominated by Kadar tribe. This was asked by UPSC कि यहाँ की tribe का नाम क्या है, 4 tribe के नाम दिए थे, Kadar was the answer to that. And it shall impact the Vajachal waterfall, Vajachal forest, that is the, all 3 statements hold true, so all 3 option C, C for cat is the correct answer. Clear on that? And the last question, National Maritime Heritage Complex, proposed to be the largest in the world, had remained in news. Consider the following statements on that. It is being developed at Lothal in Gujarat. It is planned under Sagarmala project. It is located between Bhogavo and Sabarmati rivers. All 3 holds true. So all 3, option C, C for cat is the correct answer. With this we come to the end of a section of RTFQ, that was a 500 series question. 400 we did earlier, 100 we did completed, right? Today's paper I am again repeating it out. It was basically not to give you or frame the questions, it was only to take up the topics, and all the relevant lines related to the topics are mentioned as statements, and in 90% of the questions all the statements mentioned are as correct, right? So you can simply, if you will read the paper once, it will be a revision for these particular topics. Online question students, I think you haven't asked any question, any doubt, so we will wind up this session. Thank you so much and best of luck for your examinations. See you next Sunday evening. Today is Sunday, next Sunday evening we will meet here only, right? Okay, best of luck, all the best.